What's up, ladies? This your girl Mad on Memorial Day, coming at you with a live. This topic is something that I saw. It's on another YouTube channel here, and it's getting a lot of traction. So I thought, let me go ahead and get it off of her channel and play it on my channel because she got it off of TikTok. So hell, it's all good. My channel is not monetized, so it is what it is. Hello, Mika Chicky Chick. RJ, what's up, sister? And Katina, all of the concurrent viewers that are coming in, come on in. And as you come in, hit the like button. I want to go ahead and play this live. This is, like I said, it's a compilation of women talking about why they're single and that they like it. And we'll see how things are evolving. While you listen to it, it may give you an idea of, are these women sincere? Are they legit? They're so legit that they're ready to quit dealing with men? Or are they just waiting? Are they really frustrated secretly? Is this a trend that is definitely going to crash and burn? Or is this the truth? So we'll see. I listened to about half of it, so I got through about half of it. It's about an hour or so long. So anyway, this is interesting for me to see how the word of the Divine Mother Feminine has spread across the land and how things become so popular on social media, but then is it real? So, and what are the consequences for women if this is true? What are the benefits? All right, I'm going to hit the play button so we can go. Hello, D3D and Goddess Y. What's up, sister? All right, let me go ahead and hit play, ladies. I'm just here to hang out and RJ, if anytime you want that link, I'm put that link in there anytime you want to come in and get it popping. If you want to. I'm hoping that everything plays smoothly. I see I already got some buffering.
I think a lot of us women now are at this point in our lives where we've done the healing work and we're so content and at peace and at ease with our lives that now when people come in, we're asking them, are you coming in to interrupt our peace? Are you coming in to add value to our lives? Because if you're not coming in to add value, but just disrupt us and take from us, we're good. We're not afraid of being alone anymore. We're actually tired of having people come in and take from us and not give back anything, leaving us empty, questioning things, feeling confused, feeling tired, feeling drained. We're over it. So unless you're coming in to add value, leave us alone. Thank you.
Her words were like the words of what I would wish would be an old black mammy that would finally recognize it's time to let it go. I'm tired. I don't want nothing else. I'm done with all y'all. Get away from me, sons, nephews, grandsons, hubs, sons, and all of that. But it is what it is. She's young. She looks like she's already burnt out, tired of the shit. I already know what I'm gonna say about a lot of this, but I am glad to see these women speaking on this here.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you about your decision to remain single since your 40s. Have you ever regretted that?
Never for a moment.
Mm.
Never for a moment. It's not like it was a conscious decision that on February the 12th at 8 p.m. I sat down and I wrote down, I will never get involved with a man. No, it wasn't that way. It's just, in the course of my life, that was not an issue. It was simply ceased to be an issue.
Yeah. But the celibate part, was that a bitch?
No, because, it's a law of physics that an object in motion tends to stay in motion and an object at rest tends to stay at rest. So, when you're sexually involved, you want more and you want more. And then when you're not having it, somehow it just, fades onto the back burner.
This is probably reason number 500,000 of why I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. And I'm fine with that. I don't want to do anything for you. I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you. I don't want to be your secretary and set your appointments and chase you around and make you go because of your health. I don't want to pick up your socks for you. I don't want to be one of those people who comes on TikToks and makes funny videos about how you can't do anything for yourself and men do the darndest things and everybody's in the comments like, yeah, my husband does that too. My boyfriend does that too. Fuck that. I want to be with somebody who is an adult, a fully functioning adult. It's been proven time and time again that men are the ones who benefit from marriage and relationships because we get in them and we do everything and they just get to sit back and receive everything from us. And then as a treat, they might do something for our birthday or for Mother's Day. Men get to exist in relationships and just receive. Why can't we exist together? And if we do nice things for each other, it's just organic. It just happens. But it's not the expectation. It's not something I have to do because I'm the woman. When I come home after a long day, I don't want to cook either. I don't want to do shit either. Why can't we flip a coin to see who cooks, or if we order food and then whoever cooks, the other person cleans? Why can't you pick up after yourself? Why can't you set your own appointments? Why do I have to be your secretary? I'm not working for you. I'm not working for you. I have gotten so lazy. I'm not doing anything. And then there are men who will say, well, then what are you good for? What's the reason why someone should be with you? You're proving my point. You just want to be with somebody to do everything for you. I want to be with a fully functioning adult male who we can come together and exist together, do fun stuff together. We take turns, we pull our own weight. And that seems to be unreasonable. That's asking someone to be an adult is unreasonable. I don't even want a cat. I don't even want a pet. I have a plant. I'll be a plant lady. I will be happy. I will not take care of a grown person. I won't.
Hey guys, welcome.
All right, so she said what she said. I think when you look at how, her speech pattern and the obvious level of frustration, she's right. She shouldn't be in a relationship, and she's not ready either because that's too much frustration to be bothered. So it's good she knows that. I don't know this one. It's just a still photo.
It's because there is something wrong.
Grown person.
Part when you're a single woman, most people think it's because there is something wrong with you. You probably don't have options, which is far from the truth. Anyways, guys, let me first let you watch the video, then I'll come back with my thoughts at the end.
I don't know about the rest of my single folk, but every day single, I become less and less interested in the idea of a relationship or marriage. I've had my fair share of relationships. Some were okay, some were terrible. I genuinely just feel like there's nobody out there that I am compatible enough with to settle down. Maybe that's selfish of me, but I honestly don't care. I feel like so much of my life is centered around taking care of other people and not taking care of myself. When I think about my dreams for the future, it used to involve getting married, but I don't know if that's something I want anymore. I used to think being alone meant that I had to give in to the feeling of loneliness. And while I do feel that way sometimes, it's actually very freeing to be able to do what you want without having to answer to anybody. Maybe I'll change my mind eventually. I don't know.
Do you know women's cortisol levels drop 35% when they've been living by themselves for 3 months or longer? This is done by research by Joe Dispenza. And I can tell you, like, after being in partnership and living with men for so many years now, and now living on my own in my own apartment, I have never felt peace like this in my life. And this is not a slander against men or anything. I'm just telling you, the peace that I feel right now is unmatched. I feel like I can think. I feel like when I'm out in public, I'm more relaxed. I'm walking more confidently. I'm walking slower. I feel clearer about what I want to do with my future. I know what I need to do with my day. I can work longer hours because I'm not so stressed out and caught up in somebody else's mood and what somebody else expects of me. I don't feel like I'm not enough. And that's always how I feel in partnership with a man, especially when I'm living with him. I never feel like I can fully relax at home. I love to cry for no reason. Like, I just cry on a regular basis, and not because I'm sad, but just because I enjoy it. And so, like, I like to be able to do that when I'm home. And I realized when I cry more often, I'm more in touch with my feelings and I let myself just laugh and whatever. Like, I don't feel as emotionally constipated like I do in a partnership. And I feel like then when I'm in public, I'm a lot more emotionally regulated and happy and light. Sure, was there an initial detox? Like, I felt super anxious the first day or day and a half, and I cried a lot. It's like adjusting to be on your own again. But I swear that like third or fourth day, I was like, oh my God, the clouds have cleared. Like, I'm not angry all the time anymore. Like, as you've seen on my other content, like being angry, like I forgave the guy that cheated on me. I don't care anymore. I'm moving upward and onward. Like, I feel so good. It's just, I just think women have been sold this lie that we need men and men make us happier. Because you cannot contest the way that you feel when you're by yourself. As a woman, it feels just euphoric. And the last time I was by myself was after another breakup, and I was traveling around the world, and I equated it to just, living off my savings and traveling and, not having any obligations or being in Thailand. But I think it was just being alone. That's why I was so happy. And what's crazy too is when I was in a relationship before, like I would always be thinking like, oh, I need to go do social stuff. I like this obligation, like, okay, I need to go make friends. Now I don't care. Like, I feel so happy just not doing anything and going and doing stuff on my own. And I'm naturally wanting to just go to, I went to a Zumba class today and saw a girl I hadn't seen him forever. And we're like, oh, let's meet up and whatever. Like, things just happen more naturally. They're not as forced. And I don't feel this constant rumination in my head that I felt when I was living with a partner. And if you want to watch the whole video of this, it's Why Women Who Live Alone Are the Happiest by Joe Dispenza. Look that up on YouTube. It will completely change your mindset.
I have been single for over 6 years, and I've
Okay, I did like when I watched this, I listened for like words and descriptions that sound a little refreshing or that fit where I'm at, and I like when she said she feels emotionally constipated. That's not a nice visual, but it really fit that kind of like, I don't really want to, like you can't really let your emotions flow all the time when you got some needy man around. So that was real. There's some other
Go
ones.
to, I went to a Zumba class today and saw a girl I hadn't seen him forever.
single.
It will come.
I never discovered who I was until I was truly on my own and alone, and I did not experience nowhere near the amount of growth that I have experienced. I found so much self-worth. I found all of my passions. I found my hobbies. I've really cultivated who I am, and I got to the point where I was so comfortable being alone that 3 years of celibacy just came naturally to me, which is the most craziest thing ever. If you would have told me 7 years ago that I would ever even be saying that, I would be like, you're fucking crazy. The hardest part about being single for this long is just the beginning, just the withdrawal period of getting to, because you don't really know yourself yet. So you're not really comfortable with just your own presence, and you still need other people to validate your existence, and you're constantly wanting to text someone, tell them about your day. So that period where you're adjusting to not having someone all the time and you have to validate your own existence, that's the only part that's really uncomfortable. And the more that you go into it, the more you just start to flow through it with ease. And then you get really, really comfortable with being on your own. And when you get really comfortable with being on your own, you really raise the bar for who comes into your life, because they need to make your life significantly better. Essentially, the more time that you spend on your own and cultivating a relationship with yourself, the higher your standards get. And that is a really great thing. You can technically kiss toxic relationships goodbye, because the healthiest relationship you can ever have is with yourself. So if you're contemplating being single and going down that journey, I could not recommend it enough.
It always makes me laugh when men in my comment section say, well, if you don't settle down, you're going to be old and childless and you're going to be an old cat lady. Listen, brother, I just got back from an 18-kilometer run. I am 1 month out from my ultra marathon. Freshly shaven legs, moisturized. I am now wearing a dress. I'm going to take myself out for dinner, and I'm going to get a juicy steak. And the house is clean. Everything is clean. And when I get back from my dinner, I am going to do a full skincare routine. And then I'm going to crawl into bed with my freshly shaven legs, and it's going to feel so nice against my sheets. I'm going to light a candle. I'm going to hang out with my pet rabbit, and then I'm going to go to bed early, and I'm going to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and it's going to be the best. My skin is the clearest it's ever been. My cortisol levels are balanced. I have a jawline. Can't say I had that when I was in a relationship constantly stressed out. And life.
I'm liking these angry white women expressing themselves. hers was really good.
It's good. Life is really good. Fresh manicure. I love it here. I love it here. So I just might take the cats.
Being called single is not an insult. Every time some dusty come
Everybody knows Shira. Shira, is it Shira 7? You can see the way that the black women express themselves and the way that the non-black women express themselves, but it's all coming together. Like it's pretty interesting.
up in here, that's why she keeping y'all single. That's why y'all gonna be single. Okay, well, I would rather say, oh my gosh, I'm a single woman versus, oh my gosh, I'm with a dusty. What do I do? No, nobody wants y'all dusty butts. Okay, ain't nobody trying to claim y'all. Y'all are not the prize. Okay, somebody lied to y'all. Pick me should have told y'all some lies. Because just because Pick Misha would rather claim you and not be single doesn't mean a woman that loves herself wants you. Okay. Women that love themselves more would rather hold out for someone that's beneficial than to settle for some dust. Okay. In fact, when someone says, oh my gosh, hi, Shira, I'm a single woman, there's hope there. There's lots of hope. But when I hear Shira 7, I'm with a dusty, what do I do? There's a lot of worry in that. There's a lot of anxiety in that statement. There's less anxiety in the statement, Shira, I'm single. That sounds hopeful because you hadn't settled down with no dust. Ain't no dusty dragging you down with him. You're not getting ready to create a cycle of poverty with a man that don't even like you or himself. So there is hope in that. So single ladies, you still have hope to not have to settle with the dust, baby. How to respond to a dusty who says only men are single by choice. That's the biggest lie ever. Because do you know how many women out here are single by choice so they can date several by choice? Okay. The script has flipped. Long time ago, the script flipped. Dusties just are used to Pick Misha. Okay. When they talk about women, they're talking about Pick Misha. They're not talking about us. They're talking about desperate Pick Misha. They are not talking about us. Pick Misha don't want to be single because she don't know how to date several because she can't pull several because several ain't finna pay for her. She got to pay for several. So it wouldn't make sense financially for a Pick Misha to date several men because she would have to be paying for her. But women like us, we ain't got to pay for nothing. So it makes more sense for women who are out of these dusties leagues to rather claim being single because that doesn't mean being lonely and it doesn't mean being unprovided for. Okay. Do you know how many single women are out there being provided for by men? Do you know how many women are out there with dusties not being provided for? Can't even say that they're not single because they're not married. So some of y'all are shacked up with a dusty that can't even get approved to be on your lease, but y'all are claiming him? Ma'am, never claim dust. Never claim dust. If you are with a dusty and you are not married, you are single. Except you're too stupid to have a roster. And these dusties think they are God's gift to women when they are not even a gift to their mothers. Okay? Their mother can't even brag on them. So how's your son? Oh, well. Okay. Well, that's how it starts off when somebody asks about somebody's dusty son. Well, be praying for him. They always start out with that, well, you're doing better than last month. Well, that girl, he got pregnant. I knew he was going to leave her. Hopefully it ain't his. Well, he's still borrowing $20 every day. Well, he's still broke. Look, if your mother is not even proud of you, hang it up. Dusty, hang it up. Don't nobody want you. And people always say, oh, Shira 7, do you not like men? No, I don't like dust. There's a difference. Okay, dusty should be a temporary situation, but some of these men are making a permanent label upon themselves. I love men. I don't like dust.
Ever since being single, I've really realized how much people pity single people. Like every time I say I'm single, everyone has to say like, don't worry, you're gonna find your person, a man will come, like don't worry. Girl, I'm not worried. I'm actually not worried, like in the slightest. I'm actually really happy. I'm actually really free. I'm actually really enjoying my time. I'm actually self-sufficient. I can take care of myself. I pay my own bills.
I'm actually good. This like weird idea that like, don't worry, your life will start when you find a man is so weird to me. Like my life has started. My life is thriving actually. And when a man comes, sure, I'll be excited. Sure, I love like a little attention, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here waiting for life to get good when I finally meet the one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one. Like, wait a minute. I'm the one, guys. We don't have to feel bad. So next time people say they're in a relationship, I think I'm gonna be like, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll feel that breath of fresh air again one day. Don't worry. Maybe you guys will break up. Don't worry.
I've seen a lot of women talking about how they are child free, they don't want to be married. And then when I go in the comment section, it is men in the comment section getting angry at the fact women are choosing themselves over choosing them. Because men cannot believe for 1 second that a woman could be happy without them. They just cannot believe it. They're just completely shocked because they can't be happy without women. They literally cannot. So when they see women not having children, not, getting married, they don't like it because it's going against the patriarchy. That's why I say to men, keep doing you. Keep doing you, girl. Like, honestly, keep doing you. And just don't pay attention to these men because that's what they do. They're haters. That's all I can say.
I am at the stage in my life where I just do not want to date. It's the fact that I've been single so deeply. No talking stages, no flings. We've been told that being single is the worst thing ever, especially in your 20s, because these are your prime years and this is the best that you're going to look. Your market value apparently reduces when you're older, which is all untrue. But it gets to you at some point because you keep thinking to yourself, like, am I wasting the best years of my life doing nothing? But the way I look at it is, in a few years, I might get married, okay? And I might have kids. And at that point, I'm going to envy this 25-year-old me who had no responsibilities in life and who could sit in her car at literally 1:30 a.m. talking about how she loves being single and having no responsibilities. If in 2 years I do get married and I'm responsible for my in-laws and I have to think about what they think of me and I have all of these changes that I have to accommodate to, all of these are such big changes and I'm not going to be me anymore. And I really ask myself every once in a while, is it that important to get married? Because I don't have that need. Now, it might come when I grow older, but as of now, I don't really feel the need. But I'm just worried about being like 40 years old and looking back and then regretting it. That's the only thing. Not even the fear of growing old. It's not even the fear of being single. It is the fear of regretting not finding someone during these prime years of my life. Why can't I spend the prime years of my life just resting, relaxing? Why does it have to be engagement or marriage or kids? Why can't I just chill, float? But it is literally just the fear of regret. I'm done ranting.
Video that went viral recently.
I'm done trying to get these dusties to date me. It's time to move on and have a happy life. I'm glad she was on the same page. She's talking about the Indian dusties too.
About how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that I got from men was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore. So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? Is it men that you're protecting us from? Second, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely, depressed men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel. We're being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. Or all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, and you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It is because women en masse are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men simply are not.
I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I've been single for a really long time, and I always have guys asking me like, "Oh, how's a girl like you single?" Like insinuating.
I'm sorry, I was meaning to pause it, but yeah, that woman was right too about who are we being protected from? I see Goddess why you keyed in on that exactly, because it's like if we don't birth y'all, we don't have nobody. We don't have to worry about people attacking us because it's gonna be y'all or some pick-me shit over one of y'all.
Like I shouldn't be. And I'll tell you why I'm still single. Because my standards are, at this point, they're through the roof. Like, good luck meeting them. I mean, I require reciprocated energy, good communication, meaningful conversation that's not just how was your day, respect of my time, actually treating me like you value me as a person and that you can actually bring something positive into my life.
In China, girls like me are called left.
I like how she said, good luck with meeting her high expectations. So the world of men is just out here just looking bad, huh? Oh boy, that's crazy. Good luck.
Through the roof. Like, good luck meeting them. I mean, I require reciprocated energy, good communication, meaningful conversation that's not just how was your day, respect of my time, actually treating me like you value me as a person and that you can actually bring something positive into my life.
And if you know white women and you have white women friends or anything like that, you know once they start listing their relationship expectations, your ass is grass because they don't play. They train their men and their kids to respond to their needs and their expectations. And I think I think a lot of pygmies could learn a lot from them and not compromise. But yeah, like that white woman list, they don't fucking play like that with these men.
In China, girls like me are called leftover women because I'm 29, single, and child-free. And somehow that's still controversial. Hi, I'm Jessie, a 29-year-old living in Shenzhen, China with my 8-year-old dog. China's birth rate just hits its lowest in 43 years. In Korea, women launched the 4B movement. No dating, no sex, no marriage, and no kids. East Asian women are just done with it. But why? First off, starting a family is just way too expensive now. In China, marriage isn't really romance. It's more like a business contract. You need a car, an apartment, and over $15,000 in betrothal gifts. And if you dare to have a child, you better be prepared. The total cost to raise one child in China is about $100,000, but the average couple's income is only $14K. Even if you skip the kids' math classes and piano lessons, you still be struggling for decades. And secondly, marriage is the biggest lie that's ever been sold to women. Most women believe settling down would somehow bring them security, only to realize they're expected to sacrifice their ambitions and dreams along the way. I've seen too many women slowly lose themselves over the years, and I just don't think it's worth it. At 29-year-old, I'm finally able to support myself doing whatever I want and buy the things I love, and having a child could change that anytime. Would I ever get married or have kids? Maybe. But today, I choose peace, and honestly, I've never been happier.
How do you share a bathroom
That's right.
with a partner? Gross. I don't.
I didn't see this clip, but as soon as she said that, I was like, that's one of the issues right there. I don't want to share a bathroom with a man. Fuck that.
Want to do that. If I showed you this makeup table right now, it's got makeup and crap all over it. I'm kind of messy, but I don't want to deal with someone else's mess. I'd have to have my own bathroom. I'd have to have my own closet. He'd have to have. I might even want separate bedrooms so we could just come together and we start having a lot of fun. I would love to be. It would have to be someone who travels so we could miss each other because I don't want to be up your butt all the time and I don't want you up mine. And all these things have just developed this list of like, oh, you think this would only work for me? This is just who I am, the way I'm built. I think this would only work for me if there was this qualifying criteria. And that's nearly impossible. And I really have come to terms with, I'm pretty comfortable. My life is very, very good. It is a very full, beautiful existence.
Amen.
With lots of love and lots of friends. And I already told you, I got to water the garden. I'm abstinent, not celibate. So things are tended to. I will never have a tiny body, and I've come to love the big body that I live in.
Okay.
And that was impossible. That's been impossible when trying to fit myself into the mold of what I think a man wants. I don't know. Nobody does talk about mature women and what happens when we've been abstinent or celibate for a long time. And I think that's just because we are at peace. There's not a lot to say. Life is pretty good. And it's made a lot simpler when there's no one to be tap dancing for all the time.
It's so fun.
I fucking like that. And she brought up the point about personal space in a more detailed way than some of the other women, and I fucking agree. I think men don't make enough money to date or ask women to marry them at this point. Because if they don't know how to build their homes that they want to have you living in the house with them in, and so that you can have your own bathroom and your own shower and tub and your own walk-in closet and shit, and they have their own. I mean, I know they have places with, like, 2 sinks and all that. That's not enough. That's not enough. And yeah, and I also came up with this idea. I'm sure some dating coach would make a lot of money if they took this idea, but I'll put it out there for you ladies. I think that if men don't figure this shit out, like how to lose $10,000 or $20,000 a year just on dating, they're done for. like say if a man meets, and you could come up with your own number for realistically how much should a man spend on you, and in how much time in dating, but like there's no 50-50 dating, and there's no he buys a couple of meals, at these expensive steakhouses or whatever, and then he's expecting to go home and sleep with you. That's so antiquated and lame. I think men should be willing to put up a couple $1,000s per woman. So if they meet 5 women off of a dating app, they need to be willing to lose $2,000 or $3,000 just on taking her out, each woman. I'm not talking about 5 for $2,000. I'm talking about like a few thousand per woman. And then he can, and if one of the women like him, great. And if none of the women like him, too bad. He's just out of like $15,000-$20,000 in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving some low numbers, but like this shit needs to change, and women need to understand that. And I think if women go into this dating market saying, okay, I know this man is going to spend, I've got 3 to 5 guys that's pursuing me. One of them is going to, and you already know up front that he's going to spend a certain amount of money on you. Well, if a woman has the mindset of like, just pay for me and I don't really want nothing else but the free meals and the food and the nice shoes and handbags, so fucking what? It's over 8 billion people on the planet. Like, are we really crying or hurting to keep the cycle of life going that bad on this motherfucker? Like, you know what I'm saying? But men are cheap and they're petty and immature, and they want something for nothing and something for so little from women. And when they give just a tiny bit, they want so much in return. And it's a big no. Let's see what else these women are saying.
Funny to me how so many men think that when they say to a woman, that's why you're single now, that we take that as like a diss or something, when so many women will get on here and be like, I've been single for 5 years, I've been celibate for 10 years, I've been single for 3 years, however long, and these women are literally the happiest women. They're literally so happy because they don't have a freaking gremlin in their life tormenting them and causing them unnecessary stress, anxiety, and health issues that they would not have if they were single. And so being single is actually a flex, right? Being in a happy and healthy relationship is a flex too, but being single is a definite flex because you don't have to deal with a man who is basically making your life a living hell. Now, for all the ladies who are in happy, healthy relationships, yes, kudos to you. Flex. Go ahead and flex. One day I will get there too. But right now, I am happier single than in a relationship that's unhealthy. And based off of all the relationships I've been in the past, they have all been unhealthy. So where I'm at right now, I'm happy, and so many other women are happy. So if these men are still out here thinking that they're dissing us in any sense by saying that's why you single now, that's why you can't get a man, right now I don't want a man. Like, what
Absolutely, RJ.
do you think this is? I'm at peace, honey. Peace is priceless. You cannot take that away from me ever. So yes, girl, I feel you. Being single for however long is a huge flex. That's where your peace resides. That's where you find yourself. That's where life basically flourishes. Thank God.
Ladies, today I have a message for you again. If you want to discover something about yourself, stay single. Please have a period in your life where you're single, on your own. Nobody texting you, nobody on the side. You're totally single to figure out who you are. Because most of us jump from one relationship to another, transferring the same cycle of the same things we are running away from, and not being self-aware. We're also presenting ourselves in some situations that we also don't know what to do because we don't know ourselves. So I'm advising you, ladies, find it in your journey as a woman, a period where you're just single by yourself, where you learn to enjoy your own company, where you enjoy to talk to yourself, where you enjoy to stand in the mirror naked and admire your body, where you look at your phone and there's nobody texting you and you're still okay, where you just go to work, figure things out, do your thing on your own without a man somewhere in the corner lingering. That is how you'll discover
A man in the corner lingering.
yourself, because I bet you a lot of women do not know themselves because their identity has always been tied to a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have never been single. They don't even know what it means to be single. They actually do not know. In fact, when they are single, it's like they're in a crisis. They don't know what to do. You need to enjoy your own company. I know this message is for women, but it's also good for men, because by you being on your own, you will discover things about yourself that you will not tolerate if somebody, didn't measure up for those things. But most of us, because we want to be in relationships so bad, we rather be in a horrible relationship than be single. And I've gotten a lot of stories about ladies' experiences telling me that they're in this toxic relationship, but they are afraid of being single. That's why they don't know what to do. They don't want to leave, but they know they should leave, but they're afraid of being single. Let me tell you, you can only fall in love with yourself when you're on your own. It's very hard for you to find who you are in a relationship. That's why they say, if you're not happy single, you will never be happy even with a man or a woman in a relationship. My advice to anybody out here who is looking to be in a relationship and wanting a relationship, have a phase in which you're single to discover who you are, to learn your body, to learn what you like, what you don't like, what kind of partner you want, what kind of things you can compromise on and which kind of things you can't compromise on. If you do not know those things, trust me, you're going to repeat the same cycle you've been repeating, wanting different results, but you're playing the same playbook. I am not a relationship coach, but that is something I have, read about, experienced it myself, and I have come to realize that as a woman, once you have a period where you are just single, is the most profound phase of your adult life. Let me know if I'm wrong.
You know why I'm never going to
Okay, let's see this white girl, and then I'm gonna see what RJ's thinking.
shut up about being a single girl who lives alone is because I am the first woman, not only in my family, in my entire lineage, who's able to live alone. My mom was never able to live alone. Her mom was never able to live alone. Her mom was never able to live alone. Multiply that times infinity for the rest of forever till the beginning of humanity. And it actually is that deep. If you're a girly who's living right now in your own little apartment, can afford your own bills, can pay your own rent, you don't rely on your family, you don't rely on a man in your life to financially provide for you, you're quite literally breaking generational trauma. I can literally say it started with me. My sisters, everyone after me, I was the first. I was literally the first woman in my entire female lineage to live alone. It is that deep, and that's fucking crazy, and I will not shut up about it.
Sir, I know you meant this as a diss, but I sincerely hope you're right, because I hope that happily single women teach other women that they can also be happily single until they find their partner. And if they never want to be in partnership, they can live successful, happy lives single and don't need to be in partnership. That way they won't settle for partners that aren't right for them. Being single isn't contagious, but Lord, I hope being happily single is.
The happy.
All right, let's see. Hey, RJ.
Hey,
All
can you
right.
hear me?
I certainly can. How you doing?
Awesome. I'm good. I'm good. I love this topic. We talk about this a lot, and I'm glad like the collective consciousness of women are coming to this like, you know, um this idea that it's not the worst thing in the world to be single. Um Yeah, and it's like I think women particularly are like they do best when they're single or in community. Um those two conditions like make women better. Sometimes like women could be, I would say proficient with healthy relationships. But I think are at their best when they're alone or in community, because it's a reciprocal type of relationship that that you know that you're gonna show up for yourself, and you know what you can do by yourself, and you don't extend yourself too much, because most of the time these women are saying that they're at peace because they know what they can deal with. Like, if they can't deal with certain stuff, they're not finding themselves in those situations because they know themselves, and so they're at peace with what they are. And when you're in community, you have help, you have ways to cope, you have people around that can spread the joy, spread the grief with you, so you don't have to hold everything on by yourself. So it's like a healthier environment for the feminine. But
Mm-hmm.
with a man, what it is like, the man is not conditioned to give in the way that the woman is. It's just not, it's not in the society, it's not in their brain, it's not in their chemistry to give in the same way. So women are ending up, giving more than they get. And this is what happens in even the healthiest relationship. The women is doing more. They're doing more physically, they're doing more mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. They're doing more. So I think, women are coming to that realization that, it's better to be single. It's better for them to be single. I don't know, like, society is freaking out about it, because they're gonna have less people to abuse, but that's another story. you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just love the different perspectives of women, saying the same stuff. Like, even the white women, and I'm pretty sure in other countries, women are coming to this realization too. Probably a lot slower, but they're coming to the realization that it's not a crime to be single. It's not, there's no, you don't have a defect in you because you are single. Like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with it, you know.
Yes, y'all get those likes up. That's right, RJ. And I think one of the big problems for me is like the women need to we what this conversation for me needs more of is like just who are we talking to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who got women in the situation? And I like that it's general and that it's speaking out to everybody, but at the same time, I know like we're pulling it down from a lot of different angles, and
Hmm.
it's just kind of like this general social critique because it is this kind of omniscient, omnipresent like expectation over women,
Right.
and so that's what I want to see. I just want to see women like be able to control the environment better when it comes to feeling pressured about being married and just keep taking it by
Right.
the horns.
Right. And I think, like, women, single women specifically, talking about their experiences, because a lot of people, I would say, like, maybe 20 years ago, would think that if you're single, you're automatically unhappy. Like, that was like the given. And, now that single women are going, like, no, I'm quite happy. It's the best time of my life, in fact. And then
Mm-hmm.
it get because that was the thought process. It's like, oh, if you didn't find the person that you're supposed to be with in your 20s, you're shit out of luck. Like, I was like, you might as well go into the corners of the earth and die. Like, it was just how it was. And then women are like, actually, it's actually quite better. And this is the reality that they didn't want people to tell you, because then it breaks all the it breaks all the stories and the narratives that the married women are actually be happier, and they have more
Mm-hmm.
success and all this nonsense. It's like, okay, but now that we know like
Mm.
the truth, is that now you'll see like women are starting to wake up and be like, no, I actually could be single, and that is actually an option
Mm-hmm.
for me, rather than like me just continuing to be trying to pick from a bunch of losers eh, to try to be with. Like that's not necessary anymore.
It's not necessary. That's right.
It
Another
is
thing to add to that is I think women should also um like it's single and then it's married, but I think the conversation will really start to move ahead. I'm putting it out there when women are married or living in a or like live in lover with the man, and they're able to create the separation that they're also craving too. And I don't think we're ways off from that. Maybe a
we
few
are
months.
way far, we way away from that.
Yes.
We're not even close, because married women, I think like when we talked about brain chemistry too, I think like the longer you're by yourself, you also change your brain. The way
Mhm.
that you think and the things that you engage in
Yeah.
changes your brain. And I think married people have a different way of interacting because they have a man around. And I think that influences how they think and what they engage in and how their brain continues to like grow. And I,
Mhm.
I think, and that's because I saw a woman like on TikTok that was talking about when her friend tells her, like, she has a best friend that would tell her her business, and she goes and tells the husband the friend's business. And she's like, well, that's my husband. Anything you tell me, I'm going to tell him. And
Mm.
there's a lot of women that think like this, married people that cannot make the distinction. Like, they can't separate their the two lives. They have to like have this one life. And because they can't separate it, they can't be in community with certain people. They just can't, because
Oh
they
yeah.
put you at risk, because just because you can trust your husband doesn't mean that your husband is trustworthy, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That that doesn't equate, because you could feel like, well, my husband treats me well, but he may not treat your friend well, or he may, go around saying to his friends that the your friend is a hoe. You never know. You don't know that, and you telling your friend's
Mhm.
business, like, and she
Mhm.
and she couldn't, like, they were in the comments like trying to correct her, and she was like, I don't care, because I got a life and I have kids and that. That's their priority. And when your priority is your little life and your little family, you cannot create community with people past that point, because that's always going to be your priority. And because it is your priority, you will throw people under the bus, because you can't have empathy for nobody else. That's how
Mhm.
a lot of married people think like that, because they put marriage at the top of the relationship hierarchy. That's the most
Mhm.
important relationship in the whole world. So
And
that,
mhm.
yeah.
And
So
if
you're
us and only a few people can say actually that that is that is the right order for them. But if a lot of women look actually at that situation, there's so many black women who are just married who have so little support, even though they put all of their eggs in that one basket with that marriage.
right,
Yeah. Mhm. So I'm
right.
agreeing with you.
They don't
Yeah.
know, because community requires that you have a way of like divvying out energy. right? Because it's communal. Like you're giving and getting, giving and getting. But hierarchy, you're pushing the energy up. So all the energy just goes up. So whatever you put at the top of the hierarchy gets all the air, gets all the energy. So that means that your friends it comes second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and so on. Like it's not a priority. So when you go back in life and that marriage doesn't work, you have to like go back and rebuild friendships. You have to go back because you didn't put any energy in them. Like
Well,
that's how a lot of
mhm,
marriages do
mhm.
that. They do
Well,
that.
it's well, okay, and I certainly agree. And I think one of the reasons why women don't put energy into their friendships is because, as we know, and you know, RJ, there's so much um, sometimes just bad blood between specifically like women and black women amongst each other. So a lot of women just like, well, fuck it, I'll just take a chance on getting a man and letting him be my best
Right.
friend and all of that. And so what has it would have to be like a day where women just say, what are you actually looking for? But in a friend.
Hmm.
And what is, almost like very, it could be organic, but it would have to at some point be very like deliberate and intentional. Like, I want to make this friendship work. Here are some things that have been issues for me with previous friends, but and so women give each other that kind of, you do this one time and that's it, but they give men a
Right.
thousand times.
Right.
And I don't know why women make each other more angry with each other than men who are clearly against women in their own for their own selfish reasons. I want to play some more
Right.
of the video, but I hope
Hmm.
you if you can stick
Yeah.
around. I'll
Yep.
stop
I'll
it.
mute.
Okay, I'll stop
Hmm.
it every like 10 minutes so we can respond or just
Sure.
chop it up. Yeah, this is
Yep.
good. Thank you, RJ. Let's see.
Happiest people are single women and married men. It was like this whole like debate, and I'm like, I really think that is true
Honestly, you guys, like I feel like a lot of married women are unhappy.
because they take on both roles.
They
A
do.
lot of women take on both roles, and
They
that's what
do.
makes them unhappy. Because when a man gets married, he automatically like gets everything. He gets a home, he gets,
He gets
the good parts of a
he
woman.
gets a chef,
Mm-hmm.
a nanny, a house cleaner, a
Mm-hmm.
prostitute.
Mm-hmm. They get everything.
They get everything.
Literally. And then the
They do.
woman is like expected to do the housework and work as well.
Honestly, like I don't want to say a lot of women like enable it, but it's like you got it. Like I think Shara 7 says something really well. She's like, just don't do it for a week.
Being a single woman is not a compliment in every case.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, it's just not. It actually raises a lot of red flags, to be honest. Because now you got your counterparts and your peers asking behind your back if you even capable of keeping a relationship, keeping a man or keeping a woman, etc. See, a lot of y'all felt triggered by that settle video, which was eye-opening to me because obviously we have a lot of women living in the state of delusion, thinking that they just
The devil is talking now, y'all. The whole tone just went down.
gonna find the most perfect man ever. And if not, and they can't find that, they'll just be single, as if that's supposed to do any type of advancement to our society.
Shut up.
Ask yourself, what is your purpose on the earth as a woman if you're not seeking some type of family?
What is your purpose with those damn twisties in your fucking head? Biatch.
And especially family of your own. Like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish on this earth?
Let me help you out, my man. There's a difference between wanting to be single and choosing to be single. And most women are choosing to be single because there's just no good men out there. Let me give you an example. I had a good friend come to me a couple of years ago saying, Robbie, help me find a good man. She's educated, got a great career, beautiful, and someone that you would want to marry. And trust me, I know plenty of single men, but they're single for a reason. Every good man I know is taken by a woman, and that should be the testimony. When a woman finds a good man, she knows how to hold on to that good man. And that's why women are single, because simply put, there just aren't any good men out there.
Reasons why I just love being single. One, if I wake up at 3 a.m. and I want to drive somewhere and get me a freaking hot little snack, I don't gotta tell nobody. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go. Number 2, if I want to pop, lock, and drop it in the street, who's gonna say something to me? Nobody. Number 3, I don't gotta do this. Can I? Will I? Do you mind? Can I do this? Why don't you like them? Absolutely not. No, because you know who I answer to? Right here. This girl. Number 4, I'm sleeping peaceful. Peaceful. Nobody done made me mad other than maybe my kids. But I'm not gonna be up wondering if they're gonna text me. I'm in a relationship with my dang self. I can't get into feelings about myself because I'm me and I'm awesome. Last but not least, number 5. Don't gotta mess with anybody else's parents. Just your own. And I know for sure my parents love me. Don't gotta question it.
People don't talk enough about the amount of peace that comes with being single as a woman. When you got your own money, when you got your own place, when you got your own car, when you got your own job, when you got a bed that you can come in and rub your feet together at night, when you got your own snacks in the refrigerator, when you are able to just sit in the comfort of your home by yourself and not be lonely. Take notes, ladies. Sometimes what you think is worth it ain't always worth it.
Damn, these women out here glad just to get these snacks by themselves. That's how terrible men have become. Damn.
And if I'm being honest, the easiest thing to get is a man.
Whenever a woman says that she's single and she's good looking and all of that stuff, men especially tend to assume that it's because there's a problem with her and that she's undesirable. And if she's not married, it's like, oh, like, you're at the bottom of the barrel, nobody know why you, yada, yada, yada. But really and truly, a lot of women nowadays are choosing to stay single and unmarried because these men nowadays are built differently. I don't know what it is, but these days it's better for you to stay single and happy and maintain your sanity than to go be in a relationship just for the sake of saying you have a man or for say you're married. Have you ever felt lonely in a relationship? That loneliness is worse than the loneliness that you will feel while you are by yourself. Because by yourself, yeah, normal and natural for feeling lonely. But when you're in a relationship and you feel lonely, that's the worst thing ever. I have done so much work to get myself to the level where I am right now. And I honestly cannot risk all of that just to be in a relationship with somebody. In order for me to say I'm comfortable with being in a relationship with somebody, they have to meet certain standards. And the standards that I have are not unrealistic. They're not. They're quite easy to meet if you are a decent human being and if you're a good man.
I mean to tell me that
I kind of agree with her more. You know, I've been looking at it and much more irony when I smoke my stuff and I get nobody home except for me and the cats and the plants. It's so much better than being with a dusty. That's my little Jamaican thing, but yeah.
healthy, happy woman will willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself. Like, is that what we're saying? So being single by choice is very real, right? You can be in your single season. You can decide, like, I'm just, living my life, not ready for a relationship, not interested in a relationship, and that's okay. But there's one thing to say, that this is the choice that I'm making, that I want to spend the rest of my life by myself, no husband, no kids, no nothing, just me, myself, and I find it hard to believe. It sounds like a lot of bitter, broken, unhealed, unhappy women. And instead of joining all these movements, how about you join a therapy group? How about you hit up that number on the back of your insurance card if you have insurance and find out where you can find you a therapist, because that's what you need.
Damn.
I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
Her shit is fucked up, man. She's traumatized by the thought of women.
I know.
You see that shit? That's a lot of change.
She caping for these loser men.
Yeah, she's so mad and offended and hurt. Her feelings are hurt. Damn.
Like, it don't make sense.
You ask for these women to go to therapy. So I feel like as a therapist, maybe I should share some perspective on this. I think we need to leave people alone for them to decide what they want to do with their life. Yes, A normal, healthy woman can decide to be single and not have children. And it is completely her choice. Don't know what you are measuring normal and healthy by. But in therapy, therapists don't force people to go for a relationship if the person has decided that this is what makes me happy. This is what works for me. This is what my life could look like. A therapist isn't going to force somebody have children and have a partner because that's what you are supposed to do as a woman. It is society that forces these roles on women. It is society that look down on women. It is somebody like you that make women who decide that they don't want to have children or get married feel like they are missing something or they are less than. If you made a choice to get married and to have children, that is completely your choice. Nobody is forcing you not to have children or not to get married. It is your choice and you are happy with it, and that is fine. If the woman next to you decides that I don't want to have children, I don't want to have a partner, I want to go through this life without that, that is also completely fine. So let us normalize allowing people to make the choices that they want to make in their lives and not forcing our reality and our experiences onto other people.
I saw a TikTok the other day of somebody saying that part of the reason why so many women are choosing to stay single and not get married is because there's way too many grown men that don't know that you're supposed to wash your booty hole in the shower. And it reminded me of the time I was dating this guy, and this TikTok from Nicki Minaj came up on my For You page where she was like, you need to wash your ass in the shower. And I saw that TikTok and I was in a silly goofy mood. So I asked him, I was like, when you're in the shower, do you like spread your cheeks to let the water in? And he was like, nobody does that. And I was like, what do you mean?
Wow.
And he was like, I just asked both of my roommates and they said they don't do that either. Like literally nobody does that. And he was like arguing with me about the fact that,
oh man,
you're not supposed to wash your booty hole in the shower.
Oh, these people are.
And
Gross.
Thank God I'm not engaged.
That's gross.
Thank God I'm not married.
So confirmation, these whatever they are, is these little ex-wives are not out here washing their ass. Ah.
My God.
What kind of
That's
psychological damage is
crazy.
How sad. I don't even want to think.
Who do I blame for this?
Gosh. Oh man, because
my
I don't know.
God.
I know. Now we know why Kevin Samuel Kittenhills had to do a video telling men how to wash
Yeah,
their ass.
he did a whole instructional video.
That was the most detailed ass washing video. Oh.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Let's see what Becky's saying right here.
Thank God I have no kids. Like, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. You know how cool that is? You are in your 20s, no relationship, no kids, nothing tying you down. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. Instead of being bummed, like, oh, I haven't found my person yet, blah, blah, blah. The person will come. Just build the life that you want. So much more fun just doing things for you and building that relationship with you. And it's so cheesy, but like, I'd rather be hanging out with me and compromising with some dude. Been there, done that. We're not doing it.
How to respond to men who says women who are single means something is wrong with them. Yes, it means something is wrong with their ability to accept society morals and that they're making their own morals. If you're single as a woman, doesn't mean you're not dating several men, getting several bills paid. It means you're not committing to a dusty or someone that hasn't taken you 100% off the market by being a provider. Women are not dating men anymore. They need to be dating providers. So when a man says something is wrong with you if you're single, it's like, no, nothing is wrong with me at all. I only date providers. In fact, I'm dating several right now, but I am single. Get it? It's like, you're right. Something is wrong with me. I don't have the same morals that society brainwashed women with. So I'm dating several providers right now, but I am single. But I pay no bills. That's what you need. That's the answer that you need to get. Because a lot of men don't understand that we have surpassed what society has tried to brainwash us with.
Some girl DM'd me today asking me how I was doing so well being single and not wanting to like go on dating apps or date men. And I gave her a genuine response, but I also just came to the biggest memory from last February where I went on Amazon and I ordered pink sheets. Okay, pink sheets. I was at the time dating a man. And I was like, that said man was out of the house at the time. The pink sheets came in the mail. I put the pink sheets on. I came home, or he came home, and he said to me, were we not going to have a conversation about these pink sheets? Mind you, it's my house, my apartment,
Wow.
my bed. And he asked me if we needed to have a conversation about pink sheets. So, like, when I think about dating a man, granted, I know that the next man I date will be a healthy man, healthy relationship, but I think about that and I'm like, why again would I put myself through anything that could possibly have that outcome? I don't know. But the authentic advice was that you'll literally only be single for so long. Eventually, you will find a person that is going to be your forever person. And when that time comes, you will no longer get to experience what being single is like anymore. You'll forever have a partner. And I'm sure you'll be extremely happy that you have that person with you for the rest of your life. But in the time being, since single is fleeting, I'm going to enjoy every aspect of it and not rush to be with any man that's going to ask me why I got pink sheets on my bed.
So, and she pointed out something, and we know that as black women, the niggas have ran out. They have ran out with not only worried about. They don't even talk about your house and your bed most of the time. They're too busy talking about pink hair and lashes and all this shit. So they've worn their welcome out. So I mean, I can't imagine. I'm sure she's probably talking about a non-black man, talking about pink sheets. Like that just goes to show how dumb men are, and also goes to show how trapped. I've said in a private live. I'll say it again. I think a lot of men are trapped lesbians at this point. Okay. I'm gonna keep saying that because I need to bring that back up into the psyche of y'all. What the hell is happening? They're too nitpicky, nosy, suffocating, and critical because they're angry because they're not you, and they can't make love to you as a girl or female. That's what the fuck it is. That's some twisted shit. But that's where all that bullshit nitpicking. I mean, he should be too busy worrying about how to keep the house sprayed. Is the AC HVAC system working properly? Do you need an oil change? How's your transmission on your car? Not worrying about no fucking pink sheets. You better be glad you can even see the color of the sheets.
Exactly.
I think that the hypercritical attitude is just it's always been disgusting to me of modern men, westernized men, sorry ass, effeminate, booty rump shaking men.
Yeah,
Worry about some man shit.
it's so funny because like they're so concerned to not be like feminine. And it's just like, but you're not masculine either. So the fuck, like the reason that so concerned about the feminine is because you're not masculine. Because if you were masculine, you would not even have noticed, or you wouldn't have cared too much to even say anything except, "Oh, that's nice. You got new sheets." Like it's just stupid. It's because they're not mindful about the stuff that they're supposed to be mindful about. That's why they in your business. Like,
Yeah.
where's your business?
Yeah, they worried
What?
about yes. They want to fight you over your pedicure and your stilettos when they need to
Yes.
worry about. But they're mad because they
Right.
gotta wear
Go build
that.
something. Where's your furniture that you built out of your own hands? Like, where's
Exactly.
the fucking wood you just chopped? Like, let's talk about that. Oh no. Okay. Shut up.
Yeah, nobody's looking at his raggedy ass toolbox and how his roach stomper ass shoes aren't tied. Tie your Timberlands, motherfucker. Put on some combat boots. You need some steel toe boots to go out there and chop that wood. Like we don't nitpick them and tell them how to do that shit. You need to
Exactly.
change your
Exactly.
shirt before you get under the hood of the car. Like it's there is some differences. Women respect the fucking weak version of masculinity that they present. We support it more or we say less about it, and they sitting here talking about lipstick and you remember many people remember over a decade ago ASAP Rocky talking about black women with red lipstick. Like That's so psychotic.
Right. It is. Cause you know what? Like if I walked into a house that a man built with their own bare hands, I'd shut up. You know, I'd be like, yo, let me sit my ass down. Like I would be quiet. Like I got no words. Like you built this, like this whole thing. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Let me sit my little pretty ass down. But that's not what they doing. They're not doing none of that. So you coming in here and talk about the shade of lipstick, my heels, or the dress I'm wearing, or the sheets I got on. Fuck out of here. Get
Right.
out of my face.
This is this
Out
is
of
what
my
it is.
face.
It's a sickness in a world where men are worried about so many details that concern women that are not they're not important, and they're certainly not urgent things to be talking to a woman about. Shut up. Get out of our
Exactly.
face. So let's see what else we got.
Exactly.
Controversial take, but then again, when am I not? And even stuff that I don't think is controversial, people will still say it's controversial. So here we are. But I was thinking the other day, and I think about this a lot, and I think about why so many men are angry at women that are happy to be child free and single. And the biggest insult they can offer us is you're going to die alone with cats or dogs or some kind of pet. And I see so many women rejoicing in this and being like, fuck yeah, pets, no children, no commitment, no raising a man like a second child. Where is the point where I'm losing here? This sounds like the ideal situation. Now, obviously, it doesn't apply to all women. I'm talking to women that are single by choice. I'm talking about women that choose not to have children. Obviously, this doesn't apply to the women that have husbands and are happy, and that have children and are happy, and that is a life they wanted and they made that decision and they are very happy with that decision. This does not obviously apply to them. But so women like myself that would be more than happy to die alone. If I meet the love of my life, great. If I don't, also great. I'm really content with both options. I've enjoyed being in relationships and I've enjoyed being single. I force myself to get uncomfortable with being single so that if that ever was the reality for the rest of my life, as a woman that doesn't want children and who finds it hard to meet men that don't want children, will I be okay with it? Yes. And I was content with that quite a while ago. So both suit me, both I'd be okay with. But whenever you say this, there's a lot of men that really hate it and they try to throw spinster at you, or they try to throw old or damaged goods or tainted, or the bog standard misogynistic bullshit that we hear all the time. And I was thinking to myself, why do these men get so angry? Why do they hate the idea of me doing something by myself in my home alone that has nothing to do with them? And I'll tell you the conclusion I drew from this. It may not fully be the truth, but it's what I think is to be the truth about a lot of misogynistic men. And that is that men really hate their own company, and that these types of men, not all men, and that these types of men really don't know how to be alone because the voices in their head are too painful. The trauma, the wounds from childhood, all this stuff comes up. All the things that they don't want to face that they've constantly ignored since they were children, that comes up, and the silence is too loud. And because the silence is too loud, they can't stand being by themselves. So because women are now very okay with that, we will often sit in our trauma and our wounds and our pain, or we take ourselves to therapy or journal. We might do all of it, and we're very okay with it. The idea of a woman being okay with something they're not, I think they're jealous of. On top of that, if those women are okay with that and they choose to go and be single and not involve themselves with men, and not have a partner, that means there's more of these men left over about a woman doing emotional labour for them, which means they're forced to be in their house, in their head. And I think, and I don't think these are all the reasons, but I think these are two of the large, big reasons. I think that's really uncomfortable for them. Because for me, if I met a man and he said, I really want to have a family, I wouldn't be like, how dare you want to have a family? And if I met a man and he said, I really want to be by myself, I don't want to date somebody, I'd be like, good for you, bro. Yeah, you see so many of these men that when women are like openly opting into it because they don't want to do that, and because they can't fathom doing that, they think it must be a lie. Because men think from their perspective that we think somewhat like them, even though we don't, the same way we as with women often think that men might think more like us than they actually do. We are quite diverse. I think a lot of men think, I can't imagine doing that. So how are you able to do that? And because I don't understand it, what do we do when we don't understand something and we are ignorant? We become angry, we shout at it, we end up projecting our inner pain that we feel towards that situation. So if we're not okay with something and you can do it easily, that triggers us. And I honestly think that for all the women I know where I say, how would you feel about dying alone with cats? How would you feel about dying alone without family? How would you feel about, just going to a coffee shop with all those other little old ladies? How would you feel about that? So many of them, the ones that don't want children or the ones that are really sick of dating shitty men, they're all really content.
But loads of men I know are not content with that idea. And loads of men I know can't imagine doing that. And I honestly think it's because when you sit in silence and when you're in your aloneness, and lots of men are used to distracting themselves, but as you get older, you can't distract yourself in the same way because your boys are married and your boys have families and your boys have kids. You are now forced to sit in that aloneness. And men since childhood have never faced their aloneness and have never faced their pain and have never faced their trauma. And so because they'll now be forced to do it with nobody being their companion and either helping them through it or serving as a distraction, that scares the fuck out of them. And to add to that, I also think this is a reason why a lot of men want children. I mean, I have a whole different take on this, and that's for a different day because I'd be here forever. But I think a lot of men want children because once you've got the girl and once you've got the kids, if your girl ever decides that she's not okay with the treatment you're giving her, because men somehow think that they're entitled to unconditional love, and they don't realize that your girl can unconditionally love you and still leave you. That's not what the unconditional love is. That's you want a girl to unconditionally stay for your BS. But because a woman might one day turn around and go, this behavior isn't good enough, I'm not happy, and instigate a divorce, well, at least if I've got the kids, I've got somebody there to look after me and love me unconditionally. And I've been having this conversation a lot recently where I say, children do not love you unconditionally. They are dependent on you because you are literally their means of survival. Once that child gets to the age of 15, 16, sometimes even younger, and realizes you're a piece of shit, they will not unconditionally love you anymore. Once a lot of children grow up and realize who you are as a person, that unconditional love goes out the window. If anything, the wife that stays by your side through thick and thin, as long as you're not a total piece of shit and it's actually reasonable things to stay with somebody through, that's unconditional love. That's unconditional love. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth. I actually have a lot more sense to give on this because I have a lot of opinions and I spend a lot of time observing and talking to men in so many different ways where so many of them tell on themselves without realizing they're telling on themselves. And I will ask them key questions, whether that be through my job, coaching, or through just everyday life things, work that I used to do, working in all different backgrounds, being on the train and having a conversation with a guy that's married but wants me to not realize he's married because he just took his ring off 5 seconds before talking to me. Loads of different backgrounds where I talk to men, I will ask them specific questions where I know they're going to tell me something they don't realize they're telling me, and they tell on themselves all the time. And so for me, a lot of these men that are married and unhappy and they're cheating, or a lot of these men that are angry that women are making the choice to choose to live without them, a lot of it is because they're scared of being left behind, because we actually do better at being by ourselves than they do. And if you're triggered by this, then this probably applies to you, because if you're a happy person that's in your own little bubble and this doesn't apply to you, this will have no effect on you. So if it does, maybe take a moment to reflect that maybe there might be some truth behind it.
A lot of women choose to be single.
She just did a whole fucking read in the Queen's English on the shit. I love that. A lot of shitty men out there. You know, it's not really that important if you just can go and be in a cafe and sit with your older ladies and you're okay with it. I love it. I fucking love it. Let's see what this lady right here got to say.
It's not that we're not able to get a man. We choose to be single. We choose to be single because we don't want to be placed under foolish leadership, because you can't be submissive to a fool. Being chosen isn't a issue for most of us. It's just not. We just don't want the mental load that most men place on women. We require a mate that is equally yoked and that will not come with a lot of extra stress, chaos, and confusion. So we choose not to settle and we choose not to date and practice abstinence until we are able to find someone that we know can be a lifelong partner.
I see a lot of videos on this app of women who are in their 30s and single saying they're the only person that's single in their friend group. Like all their friends are partnered, they're having kids, they're settling down, yada yada. For me, it's the opposite. I'm 30 and I've been invited to like maybe 2 friend weddings and none of my friends are settling down. None of my friends are even in relationships. So I feel I bring a very unique perspective to the conversation on men and like dating in your 30s, because not only am I 30 and single, a lot of my friends are 30 and single and they live across the country. So this isn't just like, oh, I'm in San Diego, it's the San Diego guys. No, this is literally from East Coast to West Coast. And you can tell me I'm biased, but literally all my friends are hot, bad bitches who are independent and have really solid careers. So like in my mind, these are people that should have a boyfriend. Like you'd want to date them. But literally nothing is working out for any of my friends. If it were just me, I would think, okay, I'm the problem. But the fact that this is my friends that are across the country that are having this issue, it's the men. Like it's literally, it speaks to the quality of men. It's just always so disappointing. And listen, I'm not saying there's not good men. There are. But the ones that are, they get scooped up because there's like 10 of them. There's like 10 good ones and 5,000 terrible ones. I'm waiting for the day that someone proves me wrong.
I think back in the day, they told women not to stay single for so long because then they know that if you stay single for any lengthy amount of time that you're going to come to your senses.
Men have had it with women. They are walking away. Hope you are handy around the house. I actually am. Thank you. And, obviously I don't know how to do it all. The good thing is I'm in an apartment. I don't have to be handy. If I have an issue, I just call maintenance. When I was actually still married, I am the one who did anything around the house unless it was hired out. My ex-husband couldn't even change a light bulb. Squeaky hinges, took care of all that. Hanging stuff up, I took care of that too. He was able to go to work and he was able to get himself home from work and eat lots of snacks while sitting in bed. I love it when men use this argument that they're basically saying like men are only good for physical labor. They don't understand that, number one, many women are handy. And number two, whatever we're not able to take care of, we can hire someone. There's many, many services out there. Whatever it is that needs to be done, we can hire someone. We have money, we have jobs. When men think that that's their main selling point, they're bidding against themselves. It shows you that they are horrible, horrible salespeople because, there's no selling point. What are you offering me that I can't get somewhere else? Absolutely nothing, except for a headache. And you know what? I can go sit in traffic and get a headache too.
I will choose to be single because, baby, there are just some things I cannot stand, okay? Like, as soon as you find out that you are being cheated on. And I wouldn't say it's fortunate, very unfortunate for you to even know who the girl is. Baby, I've been there. Girl, it's not a nice place. Because one thing I know for sure, you are going to be on that girl's page the whole day. You're gonna be checking up on her, girl. I swear. Scrolling down her pictures, scrolling down her posts, seeing if anything is linked to your man, connecting the dots, and they do actually connect. And then you will cry. Cause baby, that's why I'm saying I'm not about to do that to myself. Like, I've been there. It's the last place to be. Like, the obsession you suddenly just have with that girl.
There are an increasingly large number of women who are just choosing not to get married and are choosing to stay single. And in fact, there's a wonderful book called All the Single Ladies that is about this very phenomenon. And women are increasingly choosing to opt out of long-term mating if they're not able to find the relationship that they want.
I feel like women are choosing to stay single because of the fact that we know that men don't like us. Not all men, of course. And it's not just weaponizing confidence and single married mom. Women know that you guys don't really like us. You see often women talking about how men don't remember their birthdays or their holidays or don't know what they like. Some of them can't name their siblings or their partner's parent. But you're active in your local Dungeons and Dragons team, or you participate in the fantasy football draft and the whole entire season. You can spout off stats about Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or your favorite baseball team or rugby team. You know these people's hometowns and birth dates and shit. But you choose to not invest that time in your partner because honestly, you don't care enough. If you loved your partner, wouldn't you want to know like their favorite TV show, their favorite meal, what they like to read about? If you really cared about your partner, if you have children, you should be able to take care of those children without texting or calling your partner every 5 minutes if they've left the house. But often, and we see this often, women don't have that in their partnership. And that's why so many women are choosing to stay single, because women can find love and companionship in platonic relationships. And of course, it's not all men and all relationships. But if you listen, it's happening often. I know from experience, like I would invest time in trying to know what my partner likes. Did I want to listen to Michael Kay in the morning and the sports shows? No. Did I really care about learning what's going on in a hockey game? Not really. Guess how much interest I had really in learning how to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Zero. But I did these things because I loved my partner and I wanted to do stuff that they enjoyed. I wanted to know why they loved it so much. I wanted to be able to spend time with them because I knew they loved doing that, but wouldn't do anything with me and my friends and the things that I like. So for me to be able to spend time with them, I had to mold myself into someone who resembled them. But they never put that effort into me. A lot of women are feeling the same exact way and are ending relationships and they're staying single. But that's just my 2 cents.
I think there are so many women in this sort of situation who end up single in their 30s who.
Did you want to respond? Oh, I thought RJ.
Yeah, I wanted to say what she talked about, how a lot of women will do this. Like they find a guy and whatever he's interested in, they try to learn and try to like participate and all that nonsense. This is the number, like, one of the things that I like about being single, that I don't have to like be trying to like be something I'm not and try to like what they like. Like that kind of stuff to me is beneath me. I'm sorry, but it's just like, listen, if I didn't know about it and I didn't like it before you, I'm probably not gonna like it after you. Okay? Like all this stuff is out here. If I wanted to learn about it, I could have. The reason
Yeah.
I don't know about it because I don't care. So you being here will not make me care anymore. And that's the thing, like that's why I'm not an agreeable woman to like be in these types of relationships, because if you talk about nonsense I don't know about, I don't care about, I'm gonna look at you like anyway and move on, like, because I don't know, I don't care, like I'm not the one or the two for that. Like these women be trying to, this is where they lose all their energy trying to like hop around, be around some man, like trying to do what they do. And that man will not spend one iota of energy to learn the shit that you want. Or they will and take it over. They be taking
Oh,
over the female brunch shit and taking over your house and doing all kinds of stuff. Like, get out of here. Like
you're so on point. So on point.
I can't do it no more. And this is why they got to get you in your 20s when you thinking that's something cute to do. Because in my 20s, I was like, let me go learn about baseball and some bullshit. Like now, now I don't care. Like, get out of here. Okay. Anyway,
But you're
we
right.
keep looking.
Okay.
Are amazing and they don't seem to be meeting the right, well, a
Or
guy
anyone.
that matches up to their level. But I think there's something to be said about the fact that when you are in your 30s and you have your own success and you've built your own life and you're independent, you don't need someone. So they have to be really, really special for you to want to actually invest your time in them.
I never ended up with a good guy until I figured out how to truly love being single and doing things alone. I don't think we give enough credit to single women who love being single because there's still the whole childless cat lady trope out there. Like, you can enjoy life alone. You don't need somebody to bear witness to your joy to make it exist.
Where are all the single people that enjoy being single? Because I'm done with people looking at me like I have 10 heads when I say that I'm content being single at 29 years old instead of feeling like I'm on some timeline rushing into something that doesn't serve me right now. Where the fuck are those people at? Want to be friends?
Like, you could be in a relationship if you wanted to. Like, let's be so for real.
This is so true. You are single because you are not willing to just be with anyone. If you genuinely wanted a relationship, you would just choose the person who keeps messaging you or the next person who gives you an ounce of attention, but you won't. So stop comparing your relationship status to other people who have the type of partners that you would never want to be with in the first place. And a reason why you're probably struggling to find a connection is because you already give yourself everything that you need to feel whole and complete. So now the situation is that you are looking for someone who actually adds value to your life and not someone who just fills a void or makes you feel less lonely. You deciding to heal and grow as a person has helped you have standards and boundaries, which means that you're not just going to allow someone into your life to mistreat you or disrespect you, which makes your pool of people smaller. But if that is the cost of loving yourself, so be it, because that is actually how valuable self-worth is. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in life, and the wait for the right person is always going to be worth more than settling for the wrong one.
When a man asks,
these misogynist pigs, they done woke up Ming Lee, got Ming Lee out here roasting their ass, anime style. Wow.
why are you single? How do you respond? Okay, the best way to respond is that I don't know how old you are, because some women of a certain age should be single. But if you're older and they expect you to be married and something like that, just like, how do you know ask them, how do you know I'm single? That's the number one response men will take up. I'm like, well, how do you know I'm single? Or why do you think I'm single? Oh, you're not single? I never said I was. They still gonna try to holler anyway, man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right? That don't stop no man. Just tell them you ain't single. Give them something to give them a challenge. Or say, well, I really don't consider myself single, but shoot your shot. What you got? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm not getting ready to explain to you something that don't even matter to you, because I know you only after one thing, and you're going to pursue it whether I'm single or not. Just like I'm going to pursue your money too. All right? Some of y'all need to get smart and stop explaining yourself away to people. Now, if you already told them that you were single and they ask you why, make up a good lie that doesn't make it your fault. So, for example, you are engaged to somebody and they left the country to live abroad and you didn't want to. Simple as that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Or they moved across the country to a different city and you were rooted here and y'all are still friends to this day. There you go. Make up a lie. I mean, that's a good lie, right? Nobody really cares if you're single or not. They're just asking you that to try to find your triggers or your flaws or your red flags, but don't give them none, baby. Chess, not checkers. Someone says single till married. Exactly. It's like, oh, why am I single? Because I'm not married. Duh. Why? Are you trying to get married? Well, I'm gonna need to see your bank account statements before we can do all of that kind of discussion. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Women are choosing to be single and dealing with less because y'all sat here and gave us so much on why we should be doormats to your emotions.
Come on, Randy.
Opposed to taking accountability for the fact that you ain't healed yourself from the up shit your mama did to you. Come on, Randy.
I managed to have my hair appointment. I got a massage. I'm applying to jobs that I want to apply for. I'm looking into new apartments and new places to live because I can. Because I'm by myself. I am on my own. This is my life.
The reason that I love this TikTok is because it is truly so insightful and it reveals how detrimental dating can be for women. Because the fact that whenever a woman is talking about the joys and the pros of being single, all you hear her say is that she has the opportunity to center herself in her life. This woman said in her video is that because I am single, I can consider certain job opportunities. I can consider moving wherever I want. I can consider leaving to a different city if I want. It's like you have the opportunity to simply live your life because you're single. And I think that that is very revealing of how whenever women are in relationships, there is this expectation and pressure to be self-sacrificial. Because when you think about it, if a woman is in a relationship and she has a job opportunity in another state, the questioning becomes, you got to pick one or the other. Are you going to take on that opportunity or are you going to stay with your partner? If a man is in a relationship and is under the same circumstances, there is no question about whether or not he's going to take the career opportunity. He is. The questioning then falls on the partner. Are you going to follow him? There is this expectation for women to sacrifice our own joys, our own lives, our own autonomy in order to accommodate our male partners, in order to make their lives easier. I'm just so like astounded by how every single time that we have a conversation about the pros of being single, a single woman, we always end up saying things like, I get to watch whatever I want on TV. I get to do whatever I want in a Friday evening. I get to take on career opportunities. It's like that shit is so sad that we do not have those things whenever we have a partner. I think that needs to stop going unquestioned because it shouldn't be like that. It just should not be that whenever we're in a relationship, we are literally giving up the choice to live our lives. Okay, the last thing that I want to say is that this is why being a single woman is very different than being a single man. This is why women are choosing to be single. This is why the happiest people on earth are single, childless women. And I also find it very ironic how there is so much messaging telling women that being single is like the biggest misery you could have, when in reality, it seems to be the biggest joy.
I'm 31 and I've chosen to remain single at the moment, and my dad questioned me the other day. He said, "Don't you think that the older that you're getting a little too picky?" I paused. That was a valid question, and so I answered thoughtfully. I have standards, and they're not high standards. I wouldn't even call them that. They're just my standards. I don't think I'm asking for something from a man that I can't give myself. I've spent years in therapy trying to become a better person, journaling, reading books, listening to podcasts, and I expect the same of my partner, someone that is emotionally intelligent and self-aware enough to do work on themselves. I'm not asking for something I'm not giving. I have taken so many years to get an education, to build a career for myself, and I am at a disadvantage in comparison to a man. I am more of a minority than a man is. So if you start off with the upper hand, to me, there should be no excuse as to why you can at least meet me where I am financially. I don't think I'm asking for something I'm not willing to give. There are so many things I can go on and on about. I don't think I'm picky. I think at the age of 31, I have gone through my trials and tribulations enough to know myself, to be confident in who I am, what I bring into someone else's life. And I just want them to be able to meet me where I am, if not better, because that way they inspire me to be better. And I don't expect a flawless person because I am not a flawless person. And that makes me happy. It's not like a defect of mine.
So I have a question. Asking for a friend. Like, why do women have to feel bad for not wanting a relationship with a man, or you just want to have fun with a man? Like, some women don't want relationships. Like, literally, they would rather just be single, travel, get their money, go to work, things like that. But they don't want a relationship. They just want to be able to do what they want to do and then see a man from time to time to have fun, call it a day. But it's like women are like made to feel guilty for only wanting that, right? I want to know how y'all feel about that. Like, is it so wrong for women or for a woman to say, like, I don't want a relationship or kids and just be like, I just want to have fun. And, not saying be a whore, not saying that. I'm just saying like, oh, be with a man when I want to be with a man. Like, why is it normalized I personally feel like different stroke for different folk. Like, if you feel like you don't want a relationship, and I can understand that relationships come with a lot, okay? Especially in this day and time, it's so hard to find the right person. So I understand just saying, I just want to have my fun. But at what point do we normalize that it's okay for women to be like that? Because men, they get the pass to do that and say, hey, I don't want a relationship. I just want to dun. So how y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all think it's like a bad thing for a woman to say she just want to see a man from time to time, if you know what I mean? Or y'all feel like do what makes you happy? I don't know.
When I'm asked why am I still single, baby, I am still single because I have been doing the work that my life requires, which keeps me.
Okay, you want to respond?
Yeah, I wanted to say one thing.
Okay.
With what she said. She said that why is the focus basically on women trying to be single and doing what they want? That's because the lost value in the society when women choose to do that. There's a lot of loss. because when men decide that they're not gonna be with anybody, the consequence is that they're gonna be radicalized, or they're gonna shoot somebody. They're gonna lose their brain, right? Lose their shit. But when, because so that's the pull that the society wants them to be matched. But when a woman decides that she's not going to put in any energy, there's a loss there too, because she is one. She's not tapering or managing some incel guy, temper. And also, you lose out on children, you lose out on free labor, you lose out on, the beauty. You know, there's a lot of loss there. So they're like, wow, what a waste of a beautiful woman that could have been, could have been in somebody's house doing somebody's labor, like could have had kids. Like all they see is loss when they see you out here doing what you want to do and not thinking about them or society. All they see is loss. They lost out on something, and that's the problem. That's really why they in your face like that. They're in your face because they're like, wow, you could have been somebody's. Even if it wasn't me, you could have been somebody's wife, and you could have been giving out this labor and this stuff for free. And this is why I like Sheeran. Sheeran's like, listen, everything's transactional. You gonna get paid up front for your work. Up front, not later on. Up front, you pay me now for my shit, because that's all. That's all society sees you. You're not a real person. They don't want you evolving and having thoughts and reading books and going traveling. You're not human. What you are is labor. And when they see the labor walking away, they got a problem. It's a problem. So that's what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, great response. I mean, it's true. They don't see women as human. They see women as objects. So that's objectification in motion. And humans, robots. And I think women are missing, like you were saying earlier, RJ, about community. Because the idea of community, if it's a healthy community built with women in mind, it would bring that humanity, give women back their humanity. And without it, it's like women are having to rebel against this masculine concept of a relationship, because it's like a vortex and women are running on empty now. Like, wait, there's no humanity. Like, I'm not going to even be just the smallest things about being a human, let alone being a woman, are being overlooked. And so that's what I
Right.
see. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. The only other thing I want to add, y'all, for this lady on the screen here, is she's from the Black female point of view. Black women have to worry about being murdered as well, because just the whole idea of casual dating right now, no,
Right.
that's not, it's not an option, because it's a dangerous option when it comes to the men a lot now. So that's where I hope somebody responds to her on her page, and
That's
like,
that's a good point.
mhm.
That's a good point, because what women don't understand is like it's better to like either be in the pool or be out of the pool, but having your feet in the pool and out of the pool, like is just as dangerous as being in the pool, because somebody can pull you down. And that's the thing, like a lot of these women think that they're having casual relationships, and sometimes with men, there's nothing casual about them. Like they are very aggressive and insane. So you thinking that you just having fun with this man or whatever, he may not think that. Or even if that was the agreed upon agreement, he doesn't have to go with that because he's insane. And that's a lot of times these men be with these women for like 2 dates and they going crazy trying to kill them. So it it doesn't matter. Like if
Yeah.
you have to decide why you're not engaging. Because if you're not engaging because these men are horrible people, then there's no point to date them casually either.
Exactly. I really do hope somebody can keep that message out there in conversation. Casual dating is pretty much obsolete, or at least it's got like, I mean, those rip current kind of like red flags are all over. It's just something that's not. It's a thing of the past. So that's what it is. Okay, let's go.
I just want to dun. So how y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all think it's like a bad thing for a woman to say she just want to see a man from time to time, if you know what I mean? Or y'all feel like do what makes you happy? I don't know.
When I'm asked why am I still single, baby, I am still single because I have been doing the work that my life requires, which keeps me out of the way. I'm still single because I know better now. I am still single because I choose to think clearly. I am sober in thought. I am not thinking and allowing sex to do the leading. I'm still single because I have learned a plethora of life lessons by the various men who I have encountered in my lifetime. I'm still single because the dating game taught me that people are very shallow and reckless. The dating scene. It taught me that we can be shallow and reckless and we think we have all of these options. And in actuality, we have options for a plethora of sex partners. Baby, we know how people make us feel, but we don't know if they have any mental health issues. We don't know if they have any health issues. We don't know what demons they play with. We don't know a whole lot about people, but we can tell you how good they are in bed. I am still single because the work that my life required forced me to address some wounds that needed to heal. It forced me to address some behaviors that had to be done away with. I'm still single because divorce taught me not to rush. Dating taught me to be intentional. Love, I realized you can't just give that. You can't give your heart to just any and everybody who shows you attention. Dating also taught me you can't be random. I'm not interested in everybody who's interested in me. I'm very intentional. Do you have the capacity for my destiny? Do I have the capacity for yours? I am still single because I know better now. I know who I am. I am worth the wait. There are some things you have to wait for. You can't be random when it comes to dating. And we have to be okay with our unmarried selves. Like, I can sit with myself. I like who I am. I like who I am when I'm all by myself. And everybody don't like who they are when they're all by themselves. And I need somebody who likes who he is when he's by himself. I'm still single because I am learning how to control my lady parts. And I need to be able to link with someone and date someone, court someone who knows how to control his man parts. I can't have you. You can't be sharing that with everybody. And I don't want to just encounter someone who's been sharing that with everybody, but then here I am over here controlling myself. No, baby, I need us both to be self-controlled. I am still single because, again, I know better now. I've been there, done that. And I have a plethora of life lessons that have taught me I am not random. You're not going to deal with me like I'm a random, and I deserve the absolute best. And that's why I'm still single. Besides, I am becoming what it is that I desire.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So look, any man that comes and tells you that's why you single, that's the biggest compliment that he could give you, especially in this day and age, because it's not beneficial to a woman who has solidified financial security and stability, meaning that you got your own house, you got your own place, your own car, you making money. It doesn't benefit you to be in a relationship with these men these days. And I mean, I hate that. It used to be a flex to have a man because men took pride in providing for their women, regardless of all the extra headache that came along with them. Because I'm going to just tell you this, men have never been faithful. They have always cheated. And for those women say not all men cheat, whatever man you feel like has not cheated, maybe your grandfather, your grandmother took those secrets about him to her grave if she's, deceased, or she just ain't tell you. Because every man at some point in their life and relationship with a woman has stepped out on that woman. I'm not saying that they do it all the time. You know what I mean? But at some point, especially if you've been together for years, that man has stepped out. So for all the women that's delusional to think that no man cheats, that's because you just didn't find out. That's because maybe your grandmother, kept those secrets that she knew about your grandfather to herself, or your mother, or whoever. But back then, men took pride in caring for the home. Men took pride in paying bills, putting their women in cars for transportation because they had children. Now men use women for those things that they used to provide for women, meaning that they got men that's moving in with women, driving their cars, tearing your shit up. These men are no longer being of service to you. They're coming to you for you to service them. So, I mean, being single is a really big flex, especially when you got yourself together, because you're not obligated. You don't have to deal with the responsibility. Only person that you have to care about is yourself. So any man that's trying to manipulate you and tell you, well, that's why you're single, tell him thank you, because that's a compliment.
I think girls are just tired of men. The boy. So it's just better to be, like, I was single for a very long time. Like, it's better to be by yourself. It's funner that way. You can sleep at night. You ain't got to worry about no nigga cheating on you. You ain't got to worry about if this nigga happy or not. You ain't got to worry about cooking for no nigga. You ain't got to worry about none of that. When you single, it feels good. I was single for a very long time at peace. That's how I was able to get so much done.
Take advantage of being single. Oh my God. Being single is such an advantage that we forget about. Extra time, extra money, extra energy. We look better, our body, our hair, our makeup, we're glowing when we're single. There's no one distracting us. There's no one making us eat cake when we don't want to eat cake. I can tell you how it goes when you get a partner, okay? If you haven't had one before, you lose yourself a little bit. You look in the mirror 2 years down the road and you're like, I'm sorry, is that me? It happens to all of us. Take advantage of being your hottest self right now. Having all this extra time to make more money, get a better career, work out more, whatever you need to do. Because what happens when we work on ourselves and we actually level up, we attract a higher level partner. They are coming. Trust. Keep working on yourself. I know that phrase is so cliche, but it's true. Keep plugging away. I'm doing the same thing. I'm in it with you, okay? Let's support each other in the comments.
Dating is exhausting to me, especially when you're single as a woman, right? I feel there's a lot of pressure for a woman to have a partner or to be dating, to have somebody to call hers. And what I'm personally starting to realize is that being single is such a crucial part of life. And personally, for me, I find that there's 3 big reasons why being single is such an important part of your life. It's almost like this unique phase in life where you have the opportunity to prioritize yourself and your needs. And the 3 big reasons for me are the following. The first is self-discovery. You get to understand who you are and what you want in life without the influence and compromise of a relationship. Second, you get to focus on your goals. And this is so important, especially in your 20s. This is a time in your life where you can pursue career advancements and aspirations that you have and give it the time it needs without the responsibilities of a relationship. And last is independence. I am fully learning this in my season of singleness, and you learn to rely on yourself and you make decisions completely on your own. And the best thing is you get to make decisions without the need for consultation with a partner. Like I said, being unattached is a distinctive stage in your life where you get to put yourself at the forefront of your priorities. So enjoy every second of it because it is absolutely needed for your growth. Your person is out there. Rest assured that God is working everything in your favor. So take this time of singleness and focus on you.
I think one of the reasons that I'm so content with being single and I don't have a problem cutting things off when it's time to cut things off is because I already decided no matter what happens, I have to get what I want. I have to be happy. I have to have what I want. I don't know. It's just because I was spoiled as a child and also as an adult. I don't know. The point is we here now. And at this point in my life, I have to get what I want. There's no other option. And as much as I would love to be married one day, and I do believe that it's going to happen, I cannot postpone my happiness until then. I have a whole life to live. And I can't base the happiness or the fulfillment of my life on this relationship or lack thereof. I got goals. I got a career I'm trying to build. I got places I'm trying to see. I got people I'm trying to meet. I still haven't met Meg Thee Stallion. I got things I got to do, baby. Okay. So if you find that you're only ever able to be happy if you're in a relationship or if you're dating somebody or talking to somebody, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because regardless of whether or not that relationship ever comes, at the end of the day, you're going to be with you. It's going to be you and you. That saying, wherever you go, there you are, is true. At the end of the day, you have to be with yourself. And if you are not going to be able to be happy on your own, you're not going to be happy in a relationship. And then what if the relationship never comes? What if the perfect partner never comes? You're just going to be unhappy for forever? Forever? What if you live until you 80, 90, 100 years old and the man don't come? So now you just have to be unfulfilled and unhappy for your whole life? I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't. I have to be happy right now. I got to be happy right now. Or what if he does come and you get the relationship you've always dreamed of, but whenever y'all go through a rough patch, as you will, every relationship is going to go through multiple rough patches. But whenever it happens to you, you feel like your whole life is falling apart because you don't have anything outside of this relationship to make you feel whole and to make you feel happy. So every time y'all get in an argument, you feel like your life is over. Or God forbid, if y'all break up, you gonna want to unalive yourself because you don't have nothing else to live for. That's why people end up clinging so hard to these relationships that are no good for them, because if you leave that relationship, you don't have anything else going for you. You don't have anything else to look forward to. That was all that you were putting all of your marbles, every single marble you had, you put it in that basket. You'd have nothing else. So now you got to stay with him no matter what, because again, if he leaves, you don't got nothing. And I personally can't live like that. It might be for some other people, but it can't be for me, baby. I got to be happy right now. I got stuff to do.
Can you imagine not getting any D for almost 2 whole decades as a 39-year-old woman? Yeah, let's talk about it. It's no surprise that the number one question that I always get asked whenever this topic comes up is, girl, how? And I'm always tempted to respond with, well, I just don't do it. But I understand that when people ask me that question, what they're really saying is, I don't think I could ever not do it. So how are you managing to not do it? A lot of people just cannot fathom the idea of living and existing without experiencing D activities every now and then. And as someone who has previously been involved in D activities and enjoyed it, hello, I totally understand where you're coming from. I was once at that place, but now I'm over here, almost 19 years deep with no D, living a pretty normal and healthy life. And most importantly, experiencing the benefits and the blessings of being obedient to God's word and will in this area of my life. Now, I know obedience isn't easy, and for those who are struggling to abstain from D activities but desire to, sis, I got you. Stay tuned for more.
Honestly, if you ask me, I feel like it's better to be single than to be in a relationship with the wrong person. You would rather be single than be in an abusive or toxic relationship. Ladies, being single is not a curse. It does not mean that there is something wrong with you. Do not let society impose its, standards on you. Let your friends not impose their expectations on you. Your family members, do things at your own pace. Even if you feel like you never want to get married, do you. Let no one tell you how to live your life. If you feel like you never want to have kids, girl, do you. No one has to dictate how you live your life. If you choose to be celibate, so be it. Don't let anyone guilt trip you into thinking that you're not doing the right thing. This is your life and you have a right to live it the way you want to. Anyways, guys, I'll end this video right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a video. Till next time, I remain Lisa. Peace and love. I love you all. Bye.
I think. Okay, that's the end of that.
That was good. I wanna say there's David in the comments. I don't know how he got in here, but he made
Yeah.
a point to say that, look, you are being skipped over. Look at it how you want. You will go extinct through natural selection. I want to just tell David that natural selection is why we're here. Why? Because yeah, like we've been breeding a lot of sociopaths and psychopaths, and this is the correction of that. We don't want to continue that nonsense for the rest of humanity. So if y'all won't evolve quickly, you have 30 minutes, then that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. Y'all not y'all yes, we're not breathing, but you're not breathing either. And that's the point. There's too much of a bunch of male sociopaths and psychopaths in the population. Then that's what we're trying to reverse. And y'all don't wanna evolve to becoming a whole person. That's why women are opting out. They have the consciousness enough to say enough's enough. That's what's going on. That's nature's way of stopping y'all from overcoming the whole fucking planet. That's what's happening.
Ooh, wee.
That is natural selection. And we're
Damn.
doing it first. We're doing it first. That's what's going on. Because y'all came in here fighting and being bullies and overcoming the earth, destroying the earth. We see that. We see that collectively, and we're like, enough's enough.
Come
Y'all
on.
can't evolve. Y'all can't be whole people. Y'all can't have empathy. Then y'all don't need to be here either. The fuck? What you think is going on here? That's what's going on here.
Damn right.
Because at the time when y'all had all these wars, y'all went to war. All these sociopaths went to war, and they died in combat. But y'all here in women's faces trying to kill them, trying to continue all these toxic relationships with bunch of mentally ill children. That's what's happening. We see that. We said enough. And that's
Damn.
enough.
Get him, girl.
Go find a war to die in. Get the fuck out my face. Get out of here.
Yes, Lord. I mean, and it's the
They
arrogance
don't
and it's the sense of
they
entitlement.
don't understand it. They just think that women are just here to just procreate, procreate, procreate. Like we don't have a consciousness.
Right.
That's why when women say that y'all don't see us as people, we are correct. Because we have a consciousness. We have morals. We can't just procreate with just any old body, and y'all won't evolve. We ask you to have empathy. We ask you to do things like you're a whole human, and y'all can't do it. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. That's fine. But we decided we're going to be by ourselves, and it's still a problem. It can't. It can't be a problem because that's the only. Because we're not like you. We're not gonna go and blow up a building because we mad. We're gonna go travel. We're gonna go read. We're gonna go mind our business. What's the problem?
Yeah, that's the
What's the issue here?
what's the fucking problem? I mean, that shows that motherfuckers don't have good intentions for women in the first place. Constantly talking about that. Like I said earlier, it's 8 billion people on the planet as of the past few years. So they can't use the lie about, oh, we're about to run out of people on the planet. And
Exactly.
and you gotta and the just the whole fact that first of all, him having the audacity to come in here when all of these women are proclaiming their happiness, professing their happiness or whatever. Like, I mean, look, you know something's wrong when men are constantly trolling, trying to control women's wombs. That tells you one, they do have the womb, real bad womb envy, pussy envy, vagina envy. That's what they're envy. They want control of that. And if they could take that and get away with it, they would. But you can't, nigga. You can't have a baby. And you're just pissing more and more women off. More and more women are feeling the pressure that y'all try to put on us all these decades. Women are figuring it out. I'm glad that so many women that's been on my platform for over a decade have figured it out for themselves for a long time. And that consciousness is just expanding and growing because like you said, RJ, that's justice. This is the divine mother feminine balancing this shit out.
Exactly. Exactly. Y'all don't understand natural selection if you got a problem with this, because that's the only way to balance it out. We can't just keep having children while y'all refuse to change. How and then it's gonna be on the woman to and they'll tell you, oh, women can't raise men, this and that, but then you keep having them, but the men keep being sociopaths. Then what are we saying? What are you saying? So
Yes.
y'all gotta change first. If y'all change, then we can have a conversation. But it can't be that y'all gonna just be the way that you are, and we just gotta keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. We see who you are. You refuse to change, which is fine, and we've moved on. The fuck
Mm-hmm.
and see the way that men think about the world, all they're thinking about is, oh, there's not going to be people on the planet. Yes, there's not going to be people on the planet, but there's also not going to be a bunch of sociopaths on the planet too.
How about that?
So, so A win is a win. I mean, a win is a win.
Yes. Yes. I'll take this win. Because it feels like the peer pressure that kids deal with. You know what I mean? We're grown people. If you don't want to have kids, you shouldn't be told. Nobody should be saying any fucking awkward, weirdo shit about it at this point. Because at this point, I respect married people that are especially happy
Hmm.
and that are
Yeah.
doing what they got to do. But I don't respect this weirdo married mindset that everybody's got to strive for that. I think that's weird. I
Right.
think that's weird. That's weird. That's some cult shit. And
Right.
I hate that so many women have fallen for it, which is why we have 8 billion people on the planet. The world is not better because we have more people on it. In fact, it's worse than it ever has been. I mean, this is like
Right.
World War III, the Titanic, fucking Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the tsunami that this is like the Great Flood, man, nigga. This is all of this shit is going down at the same time.
Right. Exactly.
It's not better.
Exactly. Exactly. And a good portion of the people that are here are living in poverty
Yes.
all over the world. They're living in poverty. They're living in war-stricken countries, countries that don't have water, access to medical care. A lot of people are living like that. And then your thing is like, well, you're not gonna be here. Oh, okay, all right. That's not a problem. That's
Right.
not a problem. Because the other option is to find some dusty man that's gonna run off as soon as you get pregnant or kill you and that baby. So what? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna leave a dusty man anyway. That's what I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Like if by some crazy moment that I go with a man and I find that he's a horrible human being, I'm leaving him. I'm leaving him. That's what's
Mhm.
going to happen anyway. And that's why 72% of women leave these stupid, dumb, toxic relationships. They're going to leave you. You're going to be by yourself. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, like that's what you got going on. It's going to happen at in your 40s while you balding with that big ass stomach. That's gonna be you by yourself.
Mhm.
So keep going. Keep like what don't y'all get? Like women don't we're done. Like we're tired. We're not trying to date a bunch of children because most men mentally and emotionally they stop growing at 16. That's where they level of thinking and emotional sense is at. They never go past that point because they don't have to. They don't have
Mhm.
to. There's nobody pushing them. All these men are about the same, and it's like you can't find men to hold other men accountable. They're not gonna do it because they scared of men too. So it's
Mhm.
like that's where most men are mentally. What they thought about at 16 is where they at 50. It don't
Mhm.
matter.
That's
So
so true.
it
So true.
it is. So like what are we dealing with? When you with a man that has not grown, you with a 16-year-old, that's your son. Get the fuck out of here. Do you want another son? Like, get out of here. Don't nobody want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. And like society has told you that all you're good for is the physical world. And you can't even do that right. You complaining every little brick you lay, you complain about it. Oh, look at me, look what I did. What are you, a child? Get out of here. Get out of
Yeah.
here. Grow, become a whole person. Because if you become a whole person, I guarantee you, women will be attracted to you, and they'll want to be with you.
And
But y'all don't want to do that.
and even if he seems like he's that way mature, he's just faking, y'all. Don't believe the hype.
Exactly.
At,
Exactly. That's the
at best,
one.
he'll be able to fake. Go learn how to fucking fake it, nigga. Damn, they get on my nerves.
Exactly. That's what they're really good at is appropriation and faking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're good
Yep.
at that. But if you're a discerning woman and you are, you know, smart, you're not gonna fall for it. You're not gonna fall for it. So it's like, and the thing is, like, let's be honest here. Most women will not have a partner. Like we gotta say that too. Like
Mm-hmm.
the reality is that most women will not have a partner. Okay, because
Right.
some of these men are they're so not dateable that even if you wanted to settle, you couldn't settle for them because they're creepy as hell. They got all kinds of emotional problems. They're a lot of them are, you know, pedophiles. Like they're untouchable. They're untouchable. Like even the pick me woman that wants to try ain't can't even do it. Can't even do it. So as women, we're gonna be by ourselves anyway. You might as well be happy by yourself or just be you know, be yearning. Like that 50, 60-year-old woman that went to who got that prison man and he,
Oh yeah.
you know, unalived her. You know, you could be one of those. Or you could be like these women on this video. Happily single. Pick one. But most of y'all gonna be by yourselves anyway. That's what it's gonna be. Y'all gonna be by yourselves because a lot of these men are pretending as long as they can. And then when they can't no more, after they got you pregnant, 4 kids, a house, mortgage, this and that, then they show their real self. And then you're gonna have to leave them anyway. So what are we talking about? That's the reality.
That's the
That's
reality.
real life.
And
That's
these are
real
these
life.
and these are these little chaos damn demons through these males, XYs. That's the little demons speaking through them, if you ask me. Like, because if they why are they online trolling women about this shit? Why aren't you somewhere with your wife? Isn't it time to go
Right.
pick your kids up from school or your baby need a new pair of shoes, nigga? Like, find something to do that makes sense so I can respect your dumb ass. But they're not gonna do that, of course. Um, this is where it's at, and it's been this way, y'all. As many of you know, it's been this way. They've been showing their ass on social media for 15 years, but times are changing, and I'm really hoping that these women really are trying to do this thing for real. Like, I hope their hormones don't get the best of them. I hope loneliness doesn't get the best of them, or their finances, or their mental health. I hope these women hold the fuck up and realize that even if they meet a decent dude, he's just barely making the cut. Like, I mean, really, let's just keep it real. The quality of men has gone down as women have risen in power and abilities to take care of ourselves. These fools can't handle it. The competition, half of them, most of them, these paranoid types, they're in competition with women. I don't like me personally. I don't think about this shit. I've done commentary. I don't think about, oh, look, this dusty. I might not want the dust near me. That's the only reason why I might think about them. But I don't think about them. Oh, look at that dusty. He's over there with making another baby, dirty deadbeat. That I don't think about y'all. But they think about
Exactly.
what fuck women are doing to get rid of their asses, like fucking
And
raid.
and they should because they should be scared. I'm sorry, you have 30 minutes because yes, you should be afraid, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
point. That's the point of it all. Like the reason why you're scared is because you should be, because the tide is changing and it's requiring you to evolve with it. So what are you gonna do?
And
Because a
the
lot of
ladies, yes,
these,
go ahead.
yeah, a lot of these men don't want to change. They don't want to listen to what women are saying. They don't want to like expand who they are, like expand what it means to be masculine. They don't want to do any of that, but they want a woman, and that's where the disconnect comes from, because you want a woman, but you're not going to treat a woman like a person. But women are wanting to be treated like people. So you're going to have a problem at the end of the day. So y'all have to evolve.
Yeah, that's and we know that they won't. They're stuck in a real bad primitive mindset. So caveman. I mean, how are you caveman and a trapped lesbian? I just can't understand that. Like they got this barbaric mindset when the sight of a single woman just turns on their like barbaric, instinct. Club woman on head, pull her back in cave. Jane, where's me food? I mean, they go into some, and then on the other hand, they want to be the bitch too. God damn, y'all men are fucked up out here. Okay, and no wonder these women,
Right.
no wonder this shit is catching on 15 years later.
And I think part of the problem is that they're too familiar with women. Like I think like I know it's controversial, but I think like the sexes should be separate. Like separate separate the two, because y'all too comfortable. Like y'all walk around like you entitled to this and that. Like that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Like at all. Like I just feel like somebody brainwashed y'all to think that you're like every man is entitled to a woman. Like there is no law that says that. There's nothing in nature anywhere that proves that to be true. You gotta be extraordinary half the time to even get a woman. That's what's the point. The point is that you gotta be extraordinary. And y'all regular, at minimum, regular people think that you entitled to a woman. Like that was never a thing. People live communally for like hundreds of thousands of years. They live like a commune. So and the men that got women were special. They were special. They were warriors or they had a special role. Everybody else was just part of the commune, helping out. And they understood that. Like they understood. And they had their own rituals of how to move over the hump of manhood. Like they had to do all kinds of stuff to show that they were a man. They could hunt, they could be part, they could protect. Like there was a lot of stuff going on. And now you just born with a penis. Now you think you entitled to something. That's not how that works. Ever. For a long, long time. Until recently, 2000 plus years that men could even interact with women in this way. Before it was like reverence. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
and we know something's wrong because no matter how women fix it, like to fit one of our wonderful ideas, the women are liking when you said single women should have separate housing. I've always believed that. I never said single women. I always thought married, if I ever were to get married, which is probably very unlikely because I don't desire it, not because there's no chance of it, but I believe that women should live in a house different from a man. I don't believe women and
Right.
men should cohabitate. And but they're gonna find very few men can with will be able to mentally handle that. And
Right.
so if you had single women living in a community in their own homes or apartments, and you had single men living in their own homes and apartments, and and there was an experiment that said, okay, date single women in your places, go over there and date those men. Single men, go over there and date those women. Those men will find some way to fuck it up. They'll start killing each other. They're gonna start becoming, body boys. They're gonna start doing something. They're gonna start drug dealing. They're gonna start uh robbing the women, going to the single women's homes and robbing or trying to spread diseases. It's gonna be
Right.
give me some likes, y'all, and me and RJ. It's gonna be the single men that fuck it up. They always put it on women and said, "Oh, y'all always fighting over men." Absolutely not. Men brought the fight about women to social media. This could have been a quiet conversation, bitch, but this shit, you niggas brought this shit to the conversation all over the world first. They did not
Exactly.
they didn't use these platforms as a way to bring peace with women or to resolve any fucking thing. It was complete tyranny until people started speaking up and speaking against their bullshit. So they find some kind of way to fuck shit up. And if you were to take married women today, put them in their own spaces, married men, and put their spouses in separate spaces, they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna be in the house fucking drinking and doing crack because they're depressed because their wife ain't with them. Like, they're gonna be
Right.
eating all this high fatty foods and like becoming impotent and then accusing you of cheating because they can't get you like they used to. Like, it's no way to I don't have it
Right.
for
And I if you go back and you watch like certain movies, like those period movies where like kings, when you talk about a castle had women's quarters, male quarters. They separated the two because women have different needs. They had their own headmaids, like they had their own people that took care of their stuff, and men had their own, people that took care of their thing. It was and then the two would come together at some point, but it was like a structured thing. And then they would go back to their quarters. Like, you have your quarter, I have my quarter. There's a balance in that makes sense because women can hold on to their femininity and their mystery in living this way, and that made them even more attractive because the men didn't know how they prepared themselves to be beautiful and all that. But when you live together, you see all my products, you see how I put my makeup on and all this stuff. It takes the mystery out of it, and then they think that you're not beautiful. That's why a lot of men be like, oh, I don't like women that wear a lot of makeup, blah blah blah, so that they can see you in your fairest form.
Come on, girl.
That's so that they can degrade you and put you down like, oh, you really don't really look like that because it's only because you put makeup on, that's why you look like that.
And then
That
they go look for
that
the next bitch with makeup.
exactly, because the makeup is part of the whole process of attraction. It's part of there's a whole thing. There's a whole art to it. And men used to like that. They used to like the art of it all. You put on all these accoutrements and all the stuff on. They used to like that. But now it's like there's no mystery in it. So they know how it's done. They don't care. And in fact, they want you at your fairest way so that they can degrade you even more. So that they can tell you the only reason why you're beautiful is because of that makeup. Otherwise, you just look bummy and whatever. That's what they want to be able to do to knock you down a level by saying that they don't want you in makeup and this and that so that you're not your most beautiful. That's what they're trying to say. And to me, that's a comfort level that you don't even you shouldn't even get. You shouldn't even get to be that comfortable with me
That's some
because
access.
that access. You shouldn't even get that access to me because what I'm offering you is life itself. I'm offering because without me, you'd be in a fucking little depressed apartment, eating pizza and living a raggedy ass life. You know it, and I know it. So whether I put makeup on or don't put makeup on, I know what your life looks like without me, and you know what my life looks like without you. It's way better. So who's winning here? Who's actually gaining something here? You're the one gaining stuff, and you're the one looking down on me. The fuck? How does that make any sense? How does that make any
Damn.
sense?
Come on.
That's crazy. Like the audacity for me. And we've given these men audacity by acknowledging that they even make a point. You're not making a point in my book. Like you don't have nothing to say. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. Like I'm above you. I'm above you. Until you can reach where I'm at mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like we're not even in the same realm. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like that's why I don't even think about it. Like I don't even think about them. I don't even unless we're having a discussion about men or relationships, that's when I'll be like, oh, okay, let me think about it. Other than that, I don't think about them at all. Like it
Mm-hmm.
never comes into my brain. Like and when I have my daydreams about my life, there's not one a man in there. Not one man. There's different places I want to be, different things I want to be doing, different books I read, and I'll write my own books, this, that, and the other, businesses I want to open, but not a one a man is in there. That's how
Yeah.
I don't even think about y'all. Like literally gone. I don't get it. Like I'm sorry. Like I this is where I'm at, like mentally. Like I'm not I, and there's a lot of women that I feel bad for them because they really want these relationships. They really, really do. And I'm just like, I hope you well. Because I do want to live in a society where people that are in relationships are in happy, loving relationships. I do. Because those relationships create happy people, they create happy children. And that's what I want to see in the world. So if if me opting out has you a better opportunity to meet somebody, great. I'm happy for you. Like I really am. But what
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see is a bunch of desperate women clinging on to this idea of marriage and relationships and this and that because most of them are not they're not good. They're not you're settling at best and you're probably in a toxic uh, a murderous relationship at worst. Like that's that's where you're gonna be. You're gonna fall into that spectrum anyway. So I'm not ever gonna be jealous about that. And if you have a amazing relationship, because I love looking at amazing, happy relationships. I love it. It
Yeah.
brings me joy. It brings me joy when I look at a relationship and I'm like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see in the world. And I pray for that for this world. But I know that these men, 9 times out of 10, they're not doing the work to be in these relationships. They're not doing it. And I see women just trying and trying and trying and trying. And I'm like, that's probably gonna fail. That's probably gonna fail. But good luck.
Yes, girl. We have
Mhm.
RJ. Kate is on, but I don't know. Kate, I don't know if you can
Hey,
unmute,
Kate.
but she may not.
Oh,
Hi. Excuse me. Hi.
hey, hey,
Can
Hey,
you
girl.
hey,
hear me?
we can hear you. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because last time I was on, I had a hard time getting on and I felt so bad. But yeah, I'm here and I just want to say hi and happy Memorial Day to all the
Yes,
lovely,
you too.
Yes,
beautiful ladies.
you too.
Thank you. So yeah, I just have a couple of things to say. One, okay, I'm not single. I am married, okay? However, I'm gonna give you guys, and I am happily married. I am in a hypergamous relationship, which
All
is
right.
I only knew I was gonna get married if I was going to find someone who made a lot more money than me, that was gonna allow me to be a stay-at-home mom, take care. I only have one baby, and that's it. Okay. And
Awesome.
and that's how
Awesome.
I did it, because these men out here are savages and beasts, especially the niggers. So I do think that Black women should get married if they can be in a hypergamous relationship with a non-Black man. I really do, because there are a lot of benefits, mainly financial, but also just stability wise. And even as you go through life, it's kind of easier just having a guy around to do stuff for you. I shouldn't say it too loud because my husband is in the other room. But anyway, y'all know it. You understand what I'm talking about. And they're
Yeah.
supposed to do this, and a real man wants to do this, and that's how they find their value, right? But unfortunately, in our racial group, our men do not know how to do that. They don't know how to be men. And it's not just here in America, it's everywhere in the world. We all know this. Um, so I also wanted to talk about. Sorry, I'm like I just got done doing a bunch of errands, and I'm like trying to get a little quick break in before I
Okay.
go back to what I need to do. So I wanted to talk about all of these dusty damn Black men, and they're not just in the community. They are all over, because my neighborhood is 100% Caucasian. It is probably, I don't want to out myself, but it's one of the wealthiest enclaves in the entire country. Let me tell you what's going on, okay? Because I don't like niggers. I never did. And they are up in here. They're in the restaurants. They're working at places like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and
Mm-hmm.
they will still try to talk to you with your husband there. They don't care. So it's not just a ghetto thing. They'll do it anywhere, and they make me extremely uncomfortable. They even said shit about my husband to me in my husband's face. Okay? That's
Right.
number one. They're dirty, dirtier than ever. What's up with these dreadlocks? Okay. It's crazy. They look so homeless. And they're also, I'm telling y'all what's really going on in affluent communities. And affluent communities are not, they don't like what's going on either. They are in like the bars and the restaurants. They'll hire like a few, like, quote unquote, well groomed nakers who I think are like selling pussy on the side. And a lot of them on the side, they are selling. I do, because a lot of these white couples are freaky, and they watch porn, and maybe they want to do a little threesome with the BBC, the local BBC they can find. So, but these guys are over here, and they're like selling drugs, cocaine, and stuff to like the good people in these communities, honey. They will find a way to fuck up any community. So anyway, power to everybody. Keep the fight going, y'all. But don't turn your nose up at like the nerdy white guy in the corner, or the nerdy Indian guy that or whatever that wants to take you out, because he might be your husband, and he might really alleviate a lot of the pressure in life. Life is stressful enough to worry. I don't even know how these ladies do it in the hood, y'all. I have so much PTSD, and I only lived in the hood for a few years. I have so much PTSD. When I see one of them now, I swear to God, like I just like my body tenses up, because I'm like ready. I'm sitting on ready around them, and I just think all Black women need to just figure out a way to get out of the ghetto as soon as possible. If it could be on the come up of a man, so be it. You know, the economy is what it is. Sometimes you have to just make it do what it do. Anyway, happy Memorial Day to everyone. I will continue listening. I love you all. All right. Keep
All
your
right.
finances first, always.
All right, bet. Thank you, Kate. All right now. Now,
Kate about her bag.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love
and,
it. Because
and
that's, you
and
have to be.
I think the women who know my platform, y'all know I'm all for Black women getting married. I had to stop talking about certain types of marriages because I didn't want to be the portal that the further exploitation of certain kinds of relationships getting out there. I want it to be responsible. So yeah, definitely shout out to the married black women who are happy and who are not with niggas. Um, so that's always a given. Y'all know that with me. Um, that's why I was saying I'm hoping these women are real on this single thing, on the single kick. Because I heard a few of them say that they hope that they meet somebody, and there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. And there was something in the video that I'll have to remember now. One of the women said, and it slipped my mind. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we're dealing with.
Yep. Because I much rather you get married than do that casual nonsense that woman was talking about. Don't do it. Don't bother. Don't do no casual because, like Shira says, you're single till you're married. If you are dealing with these men, you need to like be hypergamous because to me, there's no point. Like, find somebody that will give you the stability because you live in real life. You live in real life, and if you're gonna, you know, be doing work because this is work. Being a stay-at-home mom is work. Um, and being a wife is work. You need to be in a place where you don't have to think about all this other stuff. So definitely be doing that. But casually being involved with a bunch of men, I don't recommend it. Like it's just to me like a waste of time, especially if you're not having your bills paid. There's no point in be doing none of that.
And this is the different women from different nations in the video. This gives us a good idea that I have talked about this in the private live, which I won't say on this live. In my private crowdcast conversations, y'all, as you can see, it really doesn't matter where you go in the world at this point. A lot of this shit is too late. Like it's already a lot of the consciousness, this toxic mindset is trapped into other people. I don't want to be too vague, but I mean, you could go anywhere and people are suffering. They're suffering. They want relationships, or they're either feeling stressed about people wanting them to be in relationships, which is just like there's so much that like everything is off balance. It's off track. And like what was just a black American conversation, like just people, or just should I just say black people who live in America, like what just started in the ghetto and the hoods, and it just kept festering from the days of everybody knows that TV show A Different World. Like there was that time where
Mhm.
everybody was kind of like living that fantasy, like we're going off to college and we're living it up, we're living single with the
Mhm.
but now
Right.
no, nobody has the privilege of feeling like they're escaping this demonic consciousness that's out here. That's nobody's relating to each other that well. People are really not that happy, and there are some people who are happy, but you can see that this mindset is like it's widespread. Something that started so locally has spread internationally and globally. And this is what I was trying to stop. I was trying to stop niggas from talking shit because I said this is not going to turn out well. First of all, for women, but it's going to be worse for men. And I wasn't trying to protect men. I was just
Mhm.
wanting them to stop because I knew because once women catch on to the mindset that we don't need y'all for real, or y'all are worth more trouble, there's more trouble
Mhm.
than they're worth, then you know what?
Mhm.
First, we're going to see the day when more women start getting killed, which we're seeing that now. And then while at the same time, we see women have more freedom and liberty. And they
Mhm.
understand like the mindset that it takes to be confident in being single has finally like become a part of mainstream conversation, or at least social media mainstream.
Right.
But at the same time,
Mhm.
the dark side of that is men are more insecure and hateful as hell. So
Right.
it's just a lot of little tricky things in this that I'm trying to convey to y'all, and
Right.
it's good.
Yeah, because they become more and more dangerous because the less access that they have, the more they like get red pills.
Yeah, I was just thinking
So.
about the red pill. They can spread their bro code, and ain't
Mhm.
no fun if my homies can't have none mindset, and they're you know um pimps up, hoes down mindset. They can spread all of that around the world for decades, but the minute women start saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm good. I don't really need anybody. I can be a plant lady, and I can pay my own way." Like that's when things become very dangerous for women. So that's the other
Hmm.
side of this, like, because it was never meant to be. These motherfuckers never meant for women to actually have a good day on the planet. The majority of them, they just wanted they wanted servants, they wanted servitude, they wanted submissiveness, submission, suppression. Like they never meant for women to be talking this type of way. And so this little troll keeps trying to pop in here, but see, I'm afraid if I let this person on, I'm gonna curse him out.
Let's see. What he
His
it's a
his
he?
is D. The name is D3D, and so I'm like, is that D Dix?
Oh, that was that
Three
troll.
3D Dix? Is that what his name is? Dick
Oh my god.
three
I'm sure he
times
was
Dick.
because you blocked him. You blocked him, so now he wants to come up.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He might instantly trigger me into some monster. David Three Dicks.
Oh
Uh,
my god. That's
yeah.
funny.
So yeah, girl, that's what we're dealing with out here, y'all. It
Hmm.
was never meant to be something, but I am glad. I just hope that women are really meaning this, and I hope that the mindset keeps catching on. I hope that I don't give a damn if we see uh the population, global population, gets smaller at some point. Like it needs to. A lot of countries are preparing for it now because they understand this is. I don't know how we have 8 billion people on the planet after these niggas have been
I
talking shit
know.
for this long. With all of these brotherhood gangs and cults and shit online. I don't know how how have they been able to fool women long enough to even get to have kids with women. But all y'all men are on social media with dating profiles. A lot of married women need to understand that these your husbands are on dating yeah,
Hmm. Dating
understand that.
sites. Yep.
Yeah, they hate for women to
Yep.
get a leg up over them. They hate it. So they're gonna keep doing dirt. All of them. Some of these non-black men too, they're gonna keep doing dirt because they're not about trying to really make you feel like you have any kind of equality. So
Yep.
even if you don't know about it, even if they shut up. So that's where we at with things. I'm gonna try this one time with this troll, but I'm gonna keep my finger on the trigger.
Shut up.
Okay.
So,
Remove.
so that's why.
You wasn't ready, Dick Three Dicks, so I guess you ain't got shit. See,
You got to be quicker than that.
yeah, you got caught. So what that troll is doing, he's sitting there listening to the commentary and
Yep.
getting mad and probably, I'm not gonna say what I know. Anyway, see, I once I get there, I can't because I go off the rails. I start saying all kind of shit I shouldn't say. What else you got for us, RJ? Any other thing? You said so many powerful things on this one here. There
No,
are.
I mean, I think we covered it. Like there's two aspects to it. It's either be single or find a healthy marriage to be in. Either one, I'm rooting for y'all.
Oh, and look,
But mhm.
Azur just said she clarified what I said, and I like it. She said, "Is their only remaining means of supremacy, cheating and lies. A lot of guys feel that honesty with women is beneath them." I feel you on that.
Wow.
She has got a really great way of.
Azure.
She's got great insight in
Wow.
terms of like listening and then turning it into a more powerful statement. I've noticed that about her for years, though. Yes, she's right.
Wow. That, that's
A
good.
great,
That's
great
good.
sister. Yes.
And look at the supremacy that they decide to have, right? It's not even, it's cheating and lies. They're supreme at cheating and lies. Like you, and then they want to be here. They want to reproduce, and that's
Mhm.
their morality. Wow,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yes. So
That's why we know what we're doing. We got it. Like we know what we're saying is right because it's true. It's true. That's all they have left. Because when they're poor and broke, all they can do is cheat and lie. Like they can't offer nothing anyway. So
Mhm.
when they cheat and lie, they can create all kinds of false worlds that they have this woman believing in, and they feel powerful in doing that.
Mhm.
You know. So.
Goddess, why? I see you, goddess, why? Oh my God, you crack me up.
Oh
And
my God.
Spring Cloud just said ghetto life is destroying. Yes, because see, y'all realize this, and I know y'all peeped this on some of the women on the video. Like the mind of people, the intellect of people has been dumbed down so much because of niggas.
Hmm.
Once they got a chance, and I really believe once in America, once they allowed all of the black entertainment and all of this media, the power of the media, whether it's movies or rap or whatever, preaching sermons going global, like it just, and then social media, black males brought the mind of people down to dirt. And then black women took it up, went down to dirt. And so now people are just kind of like, oh, yeah, well, if I get in a relationship, yeah. So, but I blame niggas. Bottom line, I blame niggas, and specifically American niggas, because they had the biggest mouths and they use all of their media power to bash the fuck out of women for decades and talk shit and trash and present themselves as the sluts that they are. And then so they have nothing to complain about. And then they running around trying to save people, telling how wonderful marriage is. That's nothing but the work of a demon. It's demon time. So I got nothing for these damn
I remember the time when black men were running away from marriage. Now all they talk about is marriage.
See, that's the
Like
agents of chaos. The agents of chaos. That's why
crazy.
if everybody's decent and clean and looking like the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s women, you know, uh Coretta Scott King, King and all that. Okay, now we got to dirty that up. If you're looking like a type of Felicia Rashad type, oh, they want to tear that down. Okay, then so then they get the Cardi B's and the little Kims and what's the not Megan Thee Stallions, but now they get what they asked for.
Sexy
Now they
red.
yeah, the red
Yeah.
chick. Now they're trying to get everybody married again. Like they're awful. This is one of my greatest resentments of these motherfuckers. I resent these
They
motherfuckers men for that.
schizophrenic. They schizophrenic. That's what it is.
Yes. They do they're fucking it's demonic as fuck. So I don't listen to them. I don't trust them. I don't if it comes about anything regarding relationships, the black man is the last person I want to hear a damn thing from because I've watched them in my lifetime fuck everything up. Fuck up some commas, like the song says. They fucked up some commas. And yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going, what the
Yep.
heck? Now everybody's going, what the helly? So that's another little song that's going viral on
Yeah.
TikTok video. What the helly, man?
Yeah.
Y'all, you motherfuckers ain't shit. But
Yep.
yeah, so if y'all ladies, if you went out here and you're doing what you gotta do to stay decent, clean, and prim, proper, prissy, pretty, polished, and definitely getting paid, stay doing what you're doing because it's not
Yep.
gonna matter whether you're with one of these dust buckets. Like it doesn't matter. Like no matter how good they think they look, they don't look good. The first reason why they don't look good is because you can see the dust. And the second reason they don't look good is because they think they look good. Like I'm going
Hmm.
biblical on a nigga now. It's even a scripture. I got a scripture to back me up on that. If a man thinks he's something, he's nothing. So like these men who think they're something, they're not shit. Even the Bible backs me on that.
Oh shit.
You can't have a society where men are walking around here prepping and worrying about pink sheets and stuff like that. That's not normal. This is not the way for a man to behave. He's out here wondering how keeping up with your nail appointments and all that stuff. That's not normal. I believe a man should have his mind so set on the things of men. He could barely even notice that you got a fucking manicure. But these niggas, they'll grab your hand. Oh, you got your nails done? That looks good. But that motherfucker, stop. You trap lesbian? Shout out to all the lesbians out there. Better to be real than to be fake. But
Right.
they
Right.
notice your shit as soon as you come from the salon, like, and it's not for the purpose of admiring your beauty. They are fascinated, honey. They want to trade places. So anyway, on this Memorial Day, now that we can close those caskets,
Right.
shout
Right.
out to
Right.
all of y'all in the chat. I'm gonna see
Yes.
what else you want to say, Miss.
That's all. That's all, folks.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now that we dealt with that, we tore these niggas
Yep.
a new one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right then. Well, I
All
definitely glad
right.
you
I'll
joined in on
be.
this topic.
Yeah. It was fun. It was
It was
fun.
great. It was great to hear you and appreciate that great insight. So once again, keep it coming. Thank you. All
Yep. Yep. I'll be in the chat.
right, cool. Thank you, RJ. All right.
All right. All right.
Yes, 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 yes. So then they sing about these men. I love RJ, y'all. She's an amazing lady. So anyway, ladies, I see lots of my patrons out there. I want to give a shout out to my patrons. It is because of patrons that I am still on these YouTube streets. I have been in the middle of a lot of stuff with work. Things are going to start to calm down a little bit. And it is because of my patrons that I am able to still cut out time and be on either my YouTube channel or in my Patreon. But I am going to be cranking up a little bit more in the next coming weeks. So y'all be on the lookout for it, but definitely continue to support the work that I do by being a patron. So again, my patrons are the reason that I am even here. And that gives you a sense, because I've been on here for a long time on YouTube, and a lot has happened with my channel, as y'all may know. So that is what it is. But it doesn't stop me from loving to come on here and make live streams. I tend to get myself in trouble sometimes, so I have to watch what I say, which doesn't make it as fun. But but y'all know what it is. You know how I do, and I'm gonna always do what I can to be a part of the conversations that move things forward. And it's so fascinating to me to see, like, 15 years, almost 15 years later, almost 15 years later, not quite. 12 to 15 years later, to see so many younger women all across social media saying things that many of us have been saying when I first came online. And I had to find y'all, and y'all had to find me. But somehow it it has the mind of women is getting stronger, and women are realizing they don't have to be unhappy because they don't have men. And I can say that, like, I really think women that are meant to get married, they probably already married right now. Like, I'm not saying that you can't get married if you want to get married. I'm just saying that a lot of women that were meant to get married, they probably already are, have been. Um, it came with some level of ease and not a lot of fight and struggle. Like, not that you didn't go through struggles, but like, I don't feel like that should be something women should take on and be struggling with and struggling through. Life is hard enough without a hard ass relationship with a man in it. So be proud of yourself, ladies. It's an accomplishment. A lot of people are going to continue to fear women who are single. They're going to admire and then fear y'all. They're going to secretly wish they understood your ability, your power to be single. Like, it's a whole fucking thing that goes with this. Like, it's so much that I don't have time to say on here, but like, definitely, I want to lift all of those women up out there, whether you're single, married, divorced, widowed, engaged, whatever you are, like, whatever. But I'm very much against letting men eat up your time and take up your time and trick you and fool you and play mind games. I'm really against that. Like, y'all just have no idea. Like, I don't even talk about it enough. I'm really against the tricks of the devil at this point. Like, it's just don't be out here getting tricked and played. And don't let these men take up all your fucking time, regardless of what your status is, because really life is not about that. Like it's good to be in love and all of that and be in a relationship, but it's really not about letting a man take up all your time and just um sit at the table and eat the fruit that you have worked so hard for, or block you from developing more of what you're supposed to be developing for yourself. Like, I'm really against all of that. So I say this: protect yourself. With that being said, it is Memorial Day. Some of y'all might be out doing this and that. Whatever you're doing, be safe and continue to enjoy yourself. I'm gonna get out of here. Look for my private live stream, ladies. I'm working with myself on this. I'm trying to get there. I will be doing another private live stream soon. I just can't say the date, but it will be soon. But I did this one for my patrons and second for my subs. So I love y'all. We'll see you in the next live. And until then, Black Women Forever. Oh, and shout out to all of you in the chat, all of the private listeners, the people that hit the like button, the people that are subscribed, the people that might want to comment and listen in on the replay gang, all of that. Thanks, Kate, for calling in. Shout out to Springflower, one of my longstanding mods as well. All right. Until then, I'll see you next time. Black Women Forever, and I'm out.